According to ESPN's Todd Archer, after signing big deals before the start of the season, both Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are predicted to restructure their deals by March in order to create more salary cap space. And John Stevens Jr., the Cowboys tight end, tore his ACL in practice yesterday, done for the season.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix kind of talking like this. So he's still a little bit under the weather. We'll get by, and we're having a party. He's missing out today because we're at Little Woodrow's this afternoon, the one on Braun Road. We're getting you ready for Thursday night football. The Vikings and the Rams. Flight by Yingling is here. Renee is here, and he brought his whole bag of goodies, all of that kind of stuff. You know, Yingling always brings the good stuff whenever we're out on remote with them. You also have a chance to win passes to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party November the 10th. Plus, you get tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game in Arlington. And, of course, it's all brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. So come on out here and see us at the Little Woodrow's right off Braun Road. All this place needs is you to come on out and see us. I got to be honest with you. It's the first time I've been to this Little Woodrow's. I've been to the other one over there by Stone Oak many times, but this one is really cool. I'm going to tell you what, this one is really cool. It's huge, number one, inside and outside. Big screens all over the place. So it is a great place to come and set up camp for tonight's Thursday night football game or the Spurs game. I'm sure they'll have that on as well. There are a lot of TVs, a lot of things going on out there. So come on out to Little Woodrow's off of Braun Road. You know where it is. You probably passed by it a million times. But it's great to be with you again today. And I got to tell you, there is a lot going on, a lot to talk about. We got Stephen Jones, who will be joining us at 4:30. A lot to talk to Stephen about, obviously, with everything that's been going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Another injury problem with them. If you were listening to the Sports Center just a few minutes ago, you heard that John Stevens Jr. out with a torn ACL. Tight end, hasn't played a whole heck of a lot, but it is a guy that the Cowboys were high on, and he did it in practice yesterday. That's what's crazy about that. But he's done for the season. We'll talk to Stephen Jones about that and everything else Dallas Cowboys-wise. Big game with the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday night in San Francisco. Deebo Samuels could actually play in that game, we are told, even though he just got out of the hospital for pneumonia. So we'll watch for that and every other storyline that you know is going to be happening between the Cowboys and the 49ers as we get ready for that big game. It's really a rivalry game that's been owned by the 49ers here as of late, but it ought to be a fun one on Sunday night. Everything else going on, a lot of basketball. Obviously, the NBA's regular season kicked off. It's underway. A bunch of good games last night and a bunch of stinkers, too. A lot of blowouts as well. But tonight's the night that I know Spurs fans have been looking for because the Spurs open up their regular season. We finally get a look at Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul on the floor in a game that actually means something. Gregg Popovich yesterday said he didn't know his starting five yet. I'm sure he's got that down now, but I haven't seen anything listed as to who will be starting other than Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. You got to figure they're going to be in that starting lineup. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I tell you, I'm finally looking forward to it. If you've listened to the show for any period of time at all, you know that I really, preseason anything I don't like. I know it's a necessary evil, but preseason anything I don't like, and especially NBA basketball. So I'm glad all of that nonsense is over. We're going to hear from Gregg Popovich. We're going to hear from Chris Paul coming up here in just a few minutes as they get prepared for game number one of the regular season against the Dallas Mavericks, who are, retooled and very talented, and another Probably another big playoff run for the Dallas Mavericks as they add Klay Thompson to that already talented lineup with, of course, Luka Doncic, who, again, already one of the favorites to win the MVP award. So going to be a lot of fun to talk about that, a lot of fun to watch that game and see how the Spurs stack up against the high-flying Mavericks. I got to believe that the Spurs will come out and play hard tonight. Will it be enough? Because look, when I saw him in a couple of preseason games, I saw one live and then obviously the others on TV. A lot of talent on that team, but it's young and raw talent. So that's got to be pulled in, and I know Gregg Popovich is going to be working on that throughout the season. We'll see how they do, but they are young, but they are extremely talented as well. So it's going to be fun to watch the Spurs as they grow up right before our very eyes. That is for sure. Last night was kind of a crazy night in the NBA just because the Clippers are horrible. All right. I mean, they're not good, but the Phoenix Suns, I'm not sure how good they're going to be. They had a very difficult time with the clip joint. In fact, that game went into overtime. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but did you see that wall that they have? Now, that was the regular season debut of the new Intuit Center or arena or whatever they're calling that thing there in LA. They no longer have to share an arena with the Lakers, and they got to be pretty happy about that. But there's a fan wall. It's a fan section, and it really seemed to bother Phoenix, and especially Kevin Durant last night when he's shooting free throws, because they got up, they stood up, and they're making all kinds of noise. They've got signs going there everywhere and all of that stuff. So it's really it might be a competitive advantage. I don't know. It certainly got in Kevin Durant's head last night. I don't think there's any question about that. He was a little bit thrown off, but the Suns do get the victory in overtime last night against the Los Angeles Clippers. I just find that funny. You know, we're talking about free throws and how easy that ought to be. And I don't know if you've ever shot a free throw. I would assume that most of you have. It seems pretty easy. But then you add in, I don't know, 20,000 screaming fans, people right in front of your face with signs and yelling obscenities at you and making fun of you and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm sure it's very distracting, I'm sure. Unlike the distraction that the Cowboy players have to face when Jerry conducts those tours. A lot more of a distraction, I would say, when there's screaming fans in your face. Also, a lot of NFL news we're going to talk about today. Did you hear Alvin Kamara? You know, he was on the trade block, and not anymore. The Saints have signed him to a 2-year extension that's going to keep him there through the 2026 season. $24.5 million. So about $12 million or so per year for a running back. That's pretty good, but Kamara's been one of those running backs that I guess has earned that stuff, and the Saints want to keep him around. I'm just not sure that the Saints are a team to be reckoned with anymore, and they got a long trip to take this week out to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. So going to be interesting to see how Alvin Kamara does. Tua Tagovailoa scheduled to play this week if he's cleared. He's practicing. He practiced yesterday, practiced today, and they're going to check him out after that and see. And I don't know if you saw him, and I don't think we have the sound pledge, and you and I didn't talk about this, but when he was on the podium yesterday, everybody's telling this guy that he shouldn't play, right? That he ought to quit, too many concussions, you're risking your life, you're doing all of that kind of stuff. Well, he flat out stood up there and said, look, I love the game of football, and I'm going to play. It's what I want to do. I'm willing to take that risk and play football because that's what I want to do. And he said this, and I couldn't believe it. It was kind of a weird thing to take in, but he said, I'll play football till the death. Those were his words. Play football till the death. And I hope nothing happens to that young man, because obviously the Miami Dolphins are nothing without him, but it goes much bigger than that, obviously, when you're talking about a man's life. But he says he wants to play. And, I don't know about you, but I'm nobody to argue with a guy that knows the risks and is still willing to put his body on the line for that. So I'm no one to tell him not to play, and unless his family is probably the only one, or doctors, and not sure exactly what they've told him. But he has been cleared from concussion protocol and looks like he's going to play for the Dolphins this weekend. So going to be interesting to see. So there is a lot going on a lot going on, and I need your help as well because no Minix today. He's out sick, trying to fight off whatever he has, some kind of, I don't know, we thought it was allergies. Now it's turned into some kind of hacking cough and sneezing and who knows what else. That just sounds kind of gross, doesn't it? Yeah, that's kind of how he sounded today, Blake. He's kind of whining.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
Wouldn't you hate to be Minix's wife when he's sick? I mean, you talk about a big baby. I can imagine that Jason Minix is the biggest baby when he's sick of anybody that I can think of. You just kind of, oh, give me something. What do you think? Have you ever seen Minix sick and just kind of whining and all of that? By the way, James Pledger is here with us today as well. Hello, Pledge.
What's happening, Joe? Seen it firsthand? No. I know when he basically called a football game with an exploding gallbladder.
And did he whine?
No, not really. I mean, he was talking about being in pain a little bit, but there wasn't any whining.
No whining going on. Well, Jason whines when he's feeling
when we're
good.
Sick?
I don't know. These kids today, man, they just can't handle it. They're nothing to them.
Oh, so you just go outside, do some yard work when you're sick.
Of course. Yard work, wash the car, maybe, I don't know, change the transmission in my car.
Maggie doesn't hear a peep out of you, huh?
Not at all. Come on. And even if she did, I'm not sure that that she'd feel sorry for me at all. Not sure at all. But I don't know. No, I hope Minix gets well. But he's got a football game to call tomorrow night, so he's got to get well and got to get done for that because I don't know what they'll do if he does not.
Well, you're calling it, obviously.
Well, I haven't called a football game in many, many years.
It's like riding a bike, I hear.
I would imagine I could do it, and it wouldn't be a problem. But, man, it's been a while since I've done it. As long as he prepares everything and just hands over the materials and everything, maybe I give it a shot. But hopefully he's well enough to take care of that tomorrow. Football. But unfortunately for him, he's missing a hell of a party out here, Pledge. Out here at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road, getting you ready for Thursday night football. Minnesota and the Rams tonight ought to be an entertaining game. I know most people think, it's not going to be any big deal. Minnesota will take care of business against the Rams, but I think it's going to be a better game than you think. Of course, it's all brought to you by Flight by Yingling, and you got to come in here and register because they are giving away passes to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party November 10th, followed by the Dallas-Philadelphia game there in Arlington, which, depending on how these next two games go for the Cowboys, could be a huge ball game for both teams. All, though, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. And, of course, Renee, the beer guy from Flight by Yingling, is here, and he's got all the goodies, all the good stuff. He'll get you registered and all of that kind of stuff. So come on out here to Little Woodrow's, Braun Road. Party with us. It's a Thursday, which means it's almost Friday, which means it's perfectly okay to come out here and have a few beers and have some fun. And you got to see this place if you've never been here. It is an incredible, incredible place. Little Woodrow's right here off of Braun Road. All right, when we come back, the San Antonio Spurs getting ready for action in Dallas tonight. We're going to preview that. We'll hear from Gregg Popovich, and he's going to tell you what happens to him on opening night. Of all the years that on opening night, Gregg Popovich still gets this way. We'll hear from Pop, we'll hear from Chris Paul, and a lot more as we continue here at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
When I was in Houston, I said, radio listeners will call in to win anything. And I said, we're giving away an STD. Caller number 7 is going to win chlamydia. And chlamydia. You saw all. We had 8 phone lines. They all just lit up.
They wanted to know who they were going to catch it from.
That's right.
I'll take up an STD if it's from the right source.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, Doctor. Doctor? Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Hey, James Pledger. The NBA is finally back. Play Pick 6 from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. It's super simple to get started. First, download DraftKings Pick 6 app. Then, select 2 or more players, like Wemby and CP3, and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like points, rebounds, three-pointers, and more. And for all first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use promo code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18. Plus, age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Getting arrested can feel like a sucker punch to the face. Don't accept mediocrity while staying down for the count. Get up and fight for your reputation and your future. At Barton & Associates, we have a stable of hard-hitting and aggressive lawyers ready to get your life back on track. Call Barton & Associates at 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasArrest.com. Barton & Associates, we are here to get your life and reputation back.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BODY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 42424. That's BODY to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. It's a matchup between 2 undefeated conference opponents as the Aggies take on the LSU Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is San Antonio Sports Star. This is the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Thanks for spending part of your Thursday with us. Jason Minix, a little under the weather. Nah, he's not a little under the weather. Dude is sick. He's just sick, full out sick. So he's taking the day off, trying to get well on a Thursday. And, man, I tell you what, he's missing out because we're at Little Woodrow's today. We'll be here till 6 o'clock tonight. And then who knows for how much longer after that. Depends on when Renee stops buying the beer. That will depend on that, right? No. But if you come out here, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident you're going to get a cold beer in your hand. Courtesy of Flight by Yingling. Now, I don't have any confirmation of that, but that has been what has happened in the past. So I'm just kind of going out on a limb, and I would think if you walk through the door and you wanted a cold Flight by Yingling, you might be able to get it and not have to pay for it. So I'm just saying. So come on out here, Little Woodrow's. It's the one off Braun Road. It is a really cool place. And I saw somebody who wasn't on our YouTube page. Somebody was talking about the scenic views.
Miguel Martinez
was talking about that, and they may be on par here with the ones at Twin Peaks.
He says better.
Better than the ones at Twin Peaks, the one on 151. So, all right, there you go. And I can't disagree with that. I'll be honest with you. I mean, the views here are pretty good. So,
and giving stuff away too, right?
Exactly, giving stuff away. You're going to Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, November 10th. You register for that. We're going to draw a winner right about 6 o'clock or so. And you also get tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game in Jerry World that day, November 10th, which could be a huge, huge game. But you got to be here. You got to come down and register. We got the stuff. You fill out all the information, and then you just might win. That'd be pretty cool to be able to go to this Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, which you get all the drink, all the food you want, and then go to the game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Head on down here to Little Woodrow's on Braun Road. It's the big one. This place is huge out here. A lot of people having some cold beer and some food and all that stuff. Very excited about being here, and so we're excited to have them here. Come down here and join us at Little Woodrow's at Braun Road, and all of this stuff is courtesy of Flight by Yingling. Spurs have a game tonight that actually means something. They open up the regular season. They've had to wait a couple of days. Well, a lot of teams have already opened up their regular season, but the Spurs get it done. Tonight, they open up in a very difficult spot, that's for sure, against the Mavericks in Dallas. And the Mavericks, of course, the biggest addition they made was adding Klay Thompson. That's going to be interesting to see how he fits in there, along with Luka Doncic and some others there that are very talented guys. Kyrie Irving being one of those guys. Luka was a little bit banged up. Didn't play in the preseason, had a calf injury, but he was asked yesterday how that was, and he says it is perfect. But Gregg Popovich at this point in time wants to see what his players can do in a game that means something, but it doesn't really matter. Pop says he still gets excited on opening night.
Absolutely. How can you not? You know, it's and going to Dallas to play a hell of a team. Start out on the road. It's a good experience for us. And I think they're going to be on television. So we're probably all excited. Yeah, in color.
In color on TNT tonight. Tip-off about 6:30, Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks. And Pop still gets excited. You know, as long as he's done this, you would think, it's opening night. What the heck? Big deal. But, you know, if you're not still excited about opening night, then you probably ought to find something else to do. And maybe that's why Pop is sticking around. Now, Pop says he knows a little bit more about this team this year than he did last year, but he also said there's plenty still to learn.
I think I know a little bit more. They've got a little bit of corporate knowledge now, believe it or not, from the last 2 years, because all the things that we've gone through, really. So I think I know them pretty well. Victor is still somebody that they're learning how to play with. And, of course, you know, Harrison and Chris will add another dimension that they're going to have to get used to. But I think we know more about our team now than we did last year in general.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. And that's one thing I'm excited to see. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see what Wemby looks like. Now, we know the guy can play. We saw him in the Olympics, and we saw him at the end of last year. But if you'll recall, this time last year with Victor Wembanyama, there was a stretch, couple of months, month and a half or so, where he looked lost. That's not going to happen this year. And that's the beauty of watching him play, I think, this year is he's going to hit the ground running. Now, again, players getting used to playing with him. I don't think Chris Paul is going to take much time to do that, just being the veteran talent that he is. But I expect the Spurs to hit the ground running and look much better game one than they did, mid-December last year. Again, though, this team has a lot of raw talent. But Chris Paul was asked just how good he thinks this team can be.
I think we're in control of that. We got to show up day in and day out. We got to compete. But I think we just got to take it one day at a time. I was telling some of the guys, we could come out and win our first game by a lot. We could come out and lose it by a lot, but it's a long season. You can never get too high, never get too low.
That's exactly right. And that sounds like a veteran NBA player, doesn't it? One game at a time. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. That's what he can teach those players, is how to talk to the media. Give us all of those cliches that just came right out of Chris Paul's mouth. That was fantastic. You think he's been doing this a while. Great basketball player, but he's pretty good with the media as well, and pretty good with the cliches. And I know everybody listening, watching on YouTube, however you're listening to this show right now, is excited to see Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama together. We've had some glances at it in the preseason, but the preseason's the preseason. Now it's the regular season. How are those two guys, the chemistry between those two guys, how is that going to be? Well, CP3 talked about playing with Wemby.
Man, I feel like every time I talk about Vic, I just talk about like how intelligent he is, how smart he is, how hard he works, how much it makes sense why he is the way that he is. He's put a lot of work to get here, and he just wants to continue getting better.
He does, and he will. And I think we'll see a different Wemby from now at the beginning of the season until the end of the season. He'll improve that much more. And there's just no I don't think we've scratched the surface as to how good Victor Wembanyama is going to be. The sky is the limit. But they're already talking about him as Defensive Player of the Year. They're talking about defense in general in the NBA. I've seen that just in general is going to be better this year because there tends to be more of a focus on defense this year. But certainly with the Spurs, Pops has said that much during training camp, that this team has got to play better defense. And he's preaching that again. And I think he'll continue to do that as we go through. And the one thing that Chris Paul was asked, and this is a topic because we were talking about it yesterday with the NBA investigating the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid because, well, he hadn't played in the preseason. He's not going to play in the first 3 regular season games. We saw it last night. Philadelphia didn't look all that great. And it hurts when he's not in there. And they're calling it left knee management. Well, Pledge and I had this conversation yesterday, and he was talking about, that all of that rest and management stuff, game management stuff, actually started here in San Antonio. I think it was Gregg Popovich who started that. So Chris Paul was asked that question. Does he think being here in San Antonio with the Spurs' history of doing that, although the rules are different now, but the Spurs' history of doing that, does that make a difference? And Paul says, I don't want any of that stuff.
Yeah, if you check my history, I ain't never really been I play. If I'm a vet, I try to play. Everyone may have different views on it, but for me, I've had some very unfortunate injuries over my career, and I know one day, probably pretty soon, I won't be playing anymore. So every day I get an opportunity to play, I try to take advantage of it.
I love that answer. I'm a basketball player. I play ball. Time is running short. That's what I do. And if I can get an opportunity to get out there, I'm going to get out there. I'm just not sure that Joel Embiid shares Chris Paul's passion for the game of basketball. What do you think, Pledge?
I think it's funny that he called them unfortunate injuries.
All injuries are unfortunate, aren't they?
Indeed. Yeah, but also could load management have helped prevent some of those injuries he's had throughout his year? Because a lot of them are hamstrings and wear and tear type injuries that probably get worn down over the course of a year. as you continue to exert them before it finally gives out.
Look, Chris Paul's about 85 years old. I mean, come on, the guy's been playing forever, and you're going to have some injuries like that. You're going to have some tweaks. Look, I just I don't buy it, and maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't have, but it doesn't matter. You're a basketball player, you're a football player, you're a baseball player, you're a hockey player, whatever you play. That's what you do. And you don't worry about injuries or load management. And I think some basketball players, Joel Embiid, number 2, Ben Simmons, I just don't think the passion for the game is as where it is with some of the other players, like a Chris Paul. He still has a passion for the game, wants to play, doesn't want to sit if he is capable of playing, and I admire that. And look, I'm happy Chris Paul is here. I really am. I wish it was about 5 years ago that he was here, and the fact that he's only going to play a year in San Antonio is disappointing. But I'm happy that Chris Paul is here. And I will have to say, as much criticism as I've given that move, listening to Chris Paul throughout training camp and in the preseason, I have to admit, maybe, just maybe, I'm not conceding that I was wrong, but just maybe I was a little bit off on the fact that he can probably teach these guys a thing or two.
Did you go to the Jerry Jones School of Apologies?
Well, I can't admit that I'm completely wrong, Pledge, because I don't think I'm ever completely wrong. Maybe just a little bit here and there. I mean, if nothing else, the guy's going to teach them how to say one day at a time. We just got to, gel together. All the cliches that we're used to hearing. Chris Paul's pretty good at that. In that respect, I think maybe I was a little bit off. Not necessarily wrong, but maybe a little bit off, and I can tweak that just a little bit. What's going to happen with the Dallas Cowboys this week in San Francisco? Can they slay their dragon? Because the San Francisco 49ers have certainly been an impediment to the Dallas Cowboys here over the last several years. San Francisco's banged up. Dallas is banged up. Mike McCarthy had a press conference today and said some interesting stuff. We'll hear from Mike McCarthy. We'll also hear from DeMarvion Overshown as well. He's got some interesting comments from the locker room as we continue here at Little Woodrow's, the one off of Braun Road, with our friends from Flight by Yingling. Come on out here, party with us on a Thursday afternoon. We'll be back. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need t-shirts screen printed. You need to create something. Sam can do that for you. You need your logo on any kind of shirt, a golf shirt, fishing shirt, dress shirt. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. If you need caps made, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices, and Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small, and all items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener, a free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best-tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at KineticoSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Kinetico.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two have geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
House of Cards and Collectibles is having a huge 10th anniversary sale this Saturday. Thousands of unsorted sports cards will be on sale along with discounted card supplies. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, and Lorcana will also be sale priced. Bring the kids for the costume contest. Take pictures with Pikachu and free door prizes every hour. Remember, this Saturday, doors open at 12 noon. House of Cards and Collectibles at 2105 Vance Jackson. See you there.
Get your axe to Twin Peaks Lodge near you for the freshest menu additions. Spice up your wing order with new sauces featuring chicken tikka or spicy chili crisp. Or try our new take on famous flatbreads with backyard barbecue brisket or chicken tikka. Can't decide between quesadillas and tacos? Why should you? Grab the new quesabirria tacos featuring our in-house smoked brisket served with birria broth for that fine dipping. With 4 San Antonio area locations, there's a Twin Peaks near you. Stop by today. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24-month bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Look what I just saw. 2 buckets of Flight by Yingling have just appeared. Right over there. There they are. You know, Renee likes to tease us when we're on the air. He brings out the cold Flight by Yingling, and we have to sit here and watch everybody else enjoy one of those. But you know what? He's good to us because I know as soon as we get off the air, there will be a Flight by Yingling right there. I guarantee it right there. So, hi, everybody. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and we are having a party on a Thursday afternoon. We are at Little Woodrow's, the one right off Braun Road. This one is really nice. Never been to this one before, but I tell you what, the food is fantastic. I had a cheeseburger for lunch, and you look outside, they've got all kinds of televisions outside, places to sit. Huge area out there, by the way. And I know tonight's Thursday night football game between Minnesota and LA will be on out there. Spurs game will be on out there. They take on the Dallas Mavericks. So come on out and party with us. And I guarantee you, he just handed somebody a nice cold flight by Yingling. You hand it, we're right by the front door. You're going to see us right when you walk in. And Renee's sitting right over there, and he's handing out cold flight by Yingling. So it's worth your time to come on out, not to mention the fact that you can register for the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party in Arlington. There's something else that goes with that. Tickets to the Philadelphia-Dallas game that same day. So you come on out here and register just like these two guys are doing right now. We'll put your name in a bucket, and about 6 o'clock or so, maybe a little bit before that, we will draw a winner. So you'll know. Now, we'd like for you to be here. All right. Now, I don't know if that's the official rule, but I'm going to kind of say it's semi-official. You need to be here to win this thing. So come on out here. Little Woodrow's the one right off Braun Road. We're having a good time. And Pledge, I'm sorry, man, that you're stuck back in the studio, but you miss all the good stuff, don't you?
I was about to say, are you sorry?
Well, I'm not really sorry. No, I'm not. But somebody's got to be back there making sure that this machine runs properly.
Define properly.
Well, properly, as long as the folks can hear me, because as Alexandra on our YouTube page just told me that I'm always a little bit off. So I actually admitted that I didn't say I was wrong, but I'm a little off when it comes to Chris Paul and his teaching ability for the young fellas here in San Antonio. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that game. By the way, Pledge, our good friend of the show, Lisa Gillespie, said, is Minix on load management and not really sick? Well, here's the answer to that. We are not saving Minix for anything because he doesn't get better with rest. All right, he's just the same. He'll still have the same bad takes when he gets back after he gets well. So we're not saving him, unlike some of the other players that go through load management. So I would
we're
say
missing
no.
all the defensive Dak Prescott, though.
Yes, thank God. And we'll get into that. By the way, Stephen Jones is going to join us at 4:30. We'll talk to him about the Cowboys and what's been happening up there, all the controversy that's going on. But the Cowboys did practice today. Are they in the midst of practicing right now? And, of course, Mike McCarthy always talks before that. A lot going on with Mike. And, yesterday he had to respond to the comments from Jerry Jones that, there were bad plays and bad concepts. And he didn't think that was true, but he handled it well, not to start any more controversy. First thing Mike was asked about, though, is the injury situation. Are the Cowboys going to have Micah Parsons and Daron Bland back for San Francisco?
Mike is improving. He'll be part of the rehab group today. We don't have him set for reps. Daron Bland, same deal. I think we're going to try to work him into practice. Eric did a good job yesterday. It's supposed to be more rehab into practice, so we're going to try to give him a few more reps today. So all those guys are making progress.
Yeah, I think Eric Kendricks is going to play, though. I mean, he actually spoke to the media yesterday in the locker room after practice, so he looks like he's going to be okay. I would expect him to play. Micah, I'm not sure about. I'm not sure that the Cowboys want to rush this guy back, being the fact that he's got the high ankle sprain. Daron Bland, though, I absolutely see him playing in this game. So I think the Cowboys are starting to get healthy, and that's a good thing for them. Because they got to slay that dragon. It's the San Francisco 49ers, and that's a difficult task to do. I don't care how banged up they are. It's just something mental, I think, with the Cowboys. And every time that they see those gold pants and or those orange shirts, or I don't know what color those things are, but they're not attractive. Oh, they are. They're not bad. And the gold helmets, too. But there's something about seeing those uniforms, I think, that just kind of, this guy's got a San Francisco hat on over there. I don't know, what color is that? Blood red? Maybe blood red is what it is. I don't know. But it's Cowboy blood, that's for sure, especially lately. They have owned the Dallas Cowboys, so we'll see what happens on Sunday. Look, the Cowboys are 3-3, right? I mean, we all look at the defeats. The 3 losses have just been disastrous. But when you look at it, they're still just 3-3. So Mike McCarthy explained today that despite how ugly it's looked in the losses, their goals are still right there in front of them.
Well, I think we're a team that's growing, and I think that's really where we were coming out of training camp. You could see it in Oxnard. We did a lot of good things. but are inexperienced, whether it's a young player or a new veteran that's arrived at the time he's arrived. I mean, you got to keep working for those things together. But yeah, the belief, the energy, and all that's trust me, what goes on outside of the locker room is not an illustration of what's going on in the locker room. I mean, the practices, the way they go about it, the energy that they bring, not right. But that's not a clear picture of our football team. We've won 3 games on the road, and we're getting ready to go win our 4th. I mean, that's our mindset. That's the way we look at this. I think it's, I think the value of being accountable is important, but also brings almost a higher scrutiny, because I think our guys do a really good job of being upfront and answering the questions. I mean, there's also, you may not need to answer the questions as much as our guys do, but I think our guys are very, very accountable, and I appreciate that, and I'm proud of them for that. But yeah, all these things about what we're not doing right is not an illustration of our football team. It definitely does not reflect the confidence and belief that we have. So, this is a very good team. It's tough to play out there in Sunday night football. So we're really looking forward to going to get this 4th win.
I appreciate Mike McCarthy's comments there. I really do. I appreciate what he's saying. And I think that, he's got to say that as a head coach, right? Our guys are confident. We've got a good football team. But the problem is when you get whacked, like they got whacked at home by the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints, then you're doing a lot of things wrong when that happens. Yes, they have won 3 games on the road. Cleveland, we know, is a disaster, but nobody knew that week 1, so I'm going to give the Cowboys that one. The Pittsburgh win, probably their best win of the season, especially the way that they did that. Dak Prescott leading a game-winning drive, and they got that one done. That one, especially with the way Pittsburgh is playing right now, I think that is their signature win thus far of the season. So you look at it, but when you see what has happened to this team, you have to say that there's a lot of mistakes, because there is. And when you see guys like Troy Aikman calling out wide receivers for not running routes, when you hear the owner calling out his head coach, because of bad plays and concepts. Look, you can circle the wagons all you want to in the locker room, but it's still a fact. I mean, you don't have to be a football genius to see there's a lot of mistakes going on the field. And Eric Kendricks, who spoke yesterday, said, it's just a matter of us getting through the difficult times.
Man, you got to lean on each other. I feel like, there's been times we all have faced adversity, you know what I mean? So it's like we got to just dig deep to those times. And, we're a good ball club, so we got to prove it.
And I hear that. You would think the Cowboys are 0-6 when you hear comments like that. Honestly, you would think they're 0-6. I mean, it's crazy, because we got to get through the tough times. Do you know how many football teams would like to be 3-3 at this point in time? And that's what's so bad. So that's part of the problem, I think, when you start looking at the mindset. And Mike McCarthy can say whatever he wants to say, but you start looking at the mindset of the team being in a problem. They think, or they feel like, they're not a 3-3 team. They're not that good. That's kind of what I hear from the locker room. I don't know what you guys think or what you're hearing, but what I'm hearing is that this team just doesn't believe that they're as good as their record indicates. 3-3 record is not bad at this point in time in the season, but they don't feel like that. And you heard it from Eric Kendricks right there, the comments that he made. And it's not just Eric Kendricks. It's DeMarvion Overshown, who talks about this team has to get things going.
We got to get going. Those first 6 weeks, September football, early October football, you're still trying to figure it out. And we've seen some ups, and we've seen some very lows. So we know this is a good opponent we looking forward to. Crazy atmosphere, and they're gonna play what they are. So we got to do the same thing.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And it should still be a good football game. And I don't expect San Francisco to lay down, regardless of who's playing and who's not playing, because I think it's just the opposite for San Francisco. When they see the Dallas Cowboys coming into town, it's like, all right, we got these guys. We're in their heads. And I honestly believe that is something. But DeMarvion Overshown, for being a young player, telling his team they got to get things going, but he also said something I thought was very important, and I hope other guys are listening to, and I hope this is what's being talked about in the locker room. He said, you got to hold ourselves accountable.
When you got a defensive coordinator like Coach Zimmer, he got the answers to the test. We just got to be, about our business, and we got to hold ourselves accountable to do what he's telling us to do. And, we losing sight of that in the game. And once we starting off slow and not picking it back up. So we got to come out there, start off fast, attacking them and not getting attacked.
Yeah, and I love that because he is taking accountability as a player on the field, not blaming the coaching staff, not doing any of that. He says, hey, we as players have to get out there and do better. And he's absolutely right. Look, no matter what you think of Mike Zimmer and what kind of plays he may be calling or defense he may be calling, or even Mike McCarthy for that matter. Now, there can be bad plays that aren't for that specific time, but you still have to execute. You have to execute. They can be the best plays ever. Players have to go out and make it happen. And I just don't see this Cowboy football team doing that 100% of the time. It's just they've got to improve so much and in so many ways. And I think the majority of it is just flat-out attitude. Flat-out attitude and going out there and playing football like they enjoy it. We talked about the NBA, Pledge and I, earlier in the show, and maybe some players don't have the same passion that some other players do. Same in football. When I watched that game against Detroit, and you guys had to have seen the same thing, you watched that game against Detroit, I felt like there were just a lot of those players were just going through the motions. They were just going through the motions. It's almost like, well, Detroit's just that much better than we are, and we can't keep up with them. And I'm sure that's not what they were thinking, but it looked like it. From me in my living room watching on TV, it looked like the Cowboys were just going through the motions and just being stuck, just standing still while Detroit was just racing right by them.
It sounds like you're bordering on saying they quit.
Well, baby. Okay, I will say that. When you get beat 47-9, you think somebody's trying? I mean, I won't go as far as say they quit, but my goodness, let me say this, Pledge, since you brought it up. I think some of those players did. I honestly believe that. I'm not saying all of them did, but some of them did. And I mean, it's obvious. When you get whacked, I don't care how good Detroit is, when you get whacked at home 47-9, somebody's quit. I mean, I don't see how you can look at it any other way.
Or are some people just not good? I sent y'all the stat yesterday of Mozzie Smith not recording a single pressure on any of his 80 pass rushes this season. That's a 0% pressure rate and at least 50 pass rushers. There are 16 defensive tackles not to record a pressure through week 7 with at least 50 pass rushes since 2018.
And what was my response to you? Do you remember?
Michigan man.
Michigan man. When are the Cowboys going to learn that you need to stop drafting guys from Michigan? Didn't Taco Charlton teach you anything? My goodness. And now you got Mozzie Smith, who hasn't done anything. This guy, a first-round draft pick, hasn't done anything. You got Luke Schoonmaker, who's not doing anything. They're all Michigan men. Michigan men. Jerry, stay away from Michigan.
But
stop drafting guys from Michigan.
But when you think of Jim Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh coach teams, you don't think of those kind of players, soft players.
Well, I don't know if soft is the answer or the reason. I just, for whatever reason, those guys they can't raise it up a level. Good college players, and they do well there, but they're not bringing it up to the NFL level. And I've said this a million times, and I know everybody knows this. I'm just not telling you anything you don't know. The step from college football to the pros is a giant leap. Some guys can do it, some guys can't. And it doesn't appear that at least the Michigan men that Dallas has drafted can do that. And it's been a problem. I mean, this is strike 3, isn't it, with Mozzie Smith and Schoonmaker? So maybe you ought to think about another school to look at. And maybe that's what the Cowboys are thinking, right? Same thing you are. They played for this guy, so they got to be tough. Well, it hadn't worked out that way.
Isn't it dangerous to do that, though? Because if you were basing that on, like, Ohio State quarterbacks, never any good in the NFL. All of them have failed. You shouldn't have taken C.J. Stroud if that was the case.
Well, there are exceptions to every rule, Pledge. I mean, come on. Right? I mean, look, Mozzie Smith, Minix and I were thrilled with that pick when it happened.
I remember.
I thought this is great. Mozzie Smith, they need to stop the run. You get a guy like that. That's going to start the process. But I will say, when they drafted Luke Schoonmaker, I said it was a disaster because they panicked. There was a run on tight ends at the time, and the Cowboys thought they needed to get in on that party. They draft Schoonmaker, and everybody knows why, or the results for Luke Schoonmaker. The other thing that was kind of funny yesterday, Brandon Aubrey going to jury duty and then being selected for jury duty. Well, nobody had talked to Mike McCarthy about that yesterday. Today, they asked him the question, though, about Aubrey and jury duty.
Well, this happens all the time. So, I mean, no big deal.
What time does your charter get back in after the game on?
After the game?
Yeah.
In time for him to get back to jury duty. So
He can't kick his way out of jury duty.
Say again?
Can't kick his way out of jury duty.
Hey, just when you think you've seen it all in this league, you got something else to do with it.
It's a funny answer, and I think, for Brandon Aubrey, I admire the guy for not slipping out of jury duty, but getting in there and going and doing his civic duty. So props to Brandon Aubrey, although I hope he gets some rest on that plane because he's not going to get to sleep much at all. Oh, my goodness. That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that in all my time of a guy going to jury duty. Nuts. Well, we'll see what the Cowboys do Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. Look, you can come out here and see for yourself how the Rams do against the Vikings tonight in Thursday Night Football, how the Spurs do against the Dallas Mavericks as they open up their regular season tonight out here at Little Woodrow's off Braun Road, the Braun Road location, the Little Woodrow's here. Come on out, courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. You can register for the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party for November 10th, and then follow that up with tickets to the Philadelphia-Dallas game right after that, which could be a huge game. Come on out here. You walk in, you register, you get a cold Flight by Yingling, and enjoy yourself. Start your weekend a day early. It's Thursday. Come on out here with us, the Little Woodrows, right here on Braun Road in 1604. Come out and see us. Come party with us and have a cold Flight by Yingling. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Kenny Smith disagrees with me. Can you believe that? I can't. I'll tell you what he disagrees with me with. Is that a word? I'm not sure. We'll talk about Kenny Smith and his disagreement with me when we return right here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20 after a bye. It's the first of 2 road games. Dallas and San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it. How about this, Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years. Extra outlets in the garage. They put a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. You need lights moved. You need USB ports added. Whatever the case is, whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. There is never a service charge, and they always offer free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Whether it's for your office, whether it's for your home, call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or go online, hill-electric.com.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
Time to start planning your Thanksgiving dinner, and that starts with the turkey. And the best turkeys are from Tri-County Meat Market. Tri-County gets their turkeys from Barber Farms in Colorado. These fresh, all-natural turkeys are never frozen and come between 8 and 24 pounds. Tri-County Meat Market only gets a limited number, so reserve your turkey before they sell out. Pre-order your turkeys and your pies from the Ultimate Cheesecake Bakery now at either Tri-County Meat Market location on Heavener Road or on Ralph Fair Road.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Divorce is tough, but you have a choice. Do you want control of the process, or are you willing to let your spouse dictate the terms? If you're serious about safeguarding your assets during a divorce, then Barton & Associates is your law firm. As the owner of Barton & Associates, I will ensure my attorneys act swiftly and decisively to protect what's rightfully yours. Be in control of your divorce. Visit TexasDivorce.com or call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo, and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, tonight is the night the San Antonio Spurs tip off the regular season with a stop in Dallas against the Mavericks tonight. Game's going to be televised on TNT. It all begins at 6:30. Cowboys tight end John Stevens Jr. suffered a season-ending knee injury on the practice field yesterday, a torn ACL, according to Todd Archer of ESPN. And Alvin Kamara and the Saints, they've got a $24.5 million extension.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome to Woodrow's, Little Woodrow's on Braun Road, because that's where the Blitz is today. We're broadcasting live thanks to our friends from Flight by Yingling. And we are giving away, cold beer. We're giving away Kanga coolers. We got that to give away. And the ultimate prize, the ultimate tailgate party, courtesy of Bill Bates and Flight by Yingling, by the way. Also tickets on that November 10th day to the Philadelphia-Dallas game there in Arlington. So you got to come on out here, register, come party with us on this Thursday here at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road, courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. Happy to be out here. It is a lot of fun. This place is really cool. The only thing that is a problem, Pledge, and I will tell you this, is that I'm sitting in a great place. We're sitting right by the front door. So I get to see everybody that walks through the front door. They're getting a nice cold Flight by Yingling, but there are TVs up on the wall. So one of the things that I'm having to watch is that disaster that happened in Austin last Saturday night. The Georgia Bulldogs just simply turning the Longhorns over their knee and spanking their little hiney. Because that's what happened.
Why is that being shown?
Well, I don't know. It's on ESPNU, but they've got so many TVs in this place.
To torture me.
They've got to torture Gregg Shelton, that's for sure. But they've got so many TVs in this place, and they've got something on every one of them. And one, ESPNU is showing a replay of the Texas-Georgia game, so we're having to watch that again. We're in the fourth quarter now, though, and Texas was still in it at that point in time, 23-15, with 13 minutes to play. But obviously, it didn't stay that way, and Georgia went on to win that thing. But it was, I would say, would you agree with that assessment that it was a turn you over your knee and spank your little hiney?
Yeah, Texas definitely got pushed around, manhandled, embarrassed, kind of however parlance you want to use to describe what happened in Austin last Saturday. It wasn't good.
Yeah, all of those things are appropriate descriptions of what happened. That's James Pledger. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, well, he's not feeling too good today, or it's load management. One of the two, we can't figure it out. Either way, he's not with us today. He's at home in bed, curled up in a ball, crying, and not feeling very good. So hopefully some chicken soup or whatever people do now when they're sick, but that's where he is, and he's missing a hell of a party here at Little Woodrow's. These ladies are not missing a hell of a party. They came, they showed up. That's good. Everybody, this place is starting to fill up. I'm gonna tell you, there's people walking through this front door left and right. But besides having to watch that, I got to tell you now, Gregg Shelton is our engineer. He's out here. Have you noticed this sign here to my left, Greg? That's kind of cool. It says beer is good for you, and it's a cartoon of a scantily clad young lady.
I didn't realize there was any slogan there.
Yeah. It's a pretty nice little cartoon figure, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and it's not
well
a stick,
drawn.
It's not a stick figure. It's very well done, I might add. So all kinds of stuff out here at Little Woodrow's Braun Road location. Come out and join us, and let's party hardy on this Thursday afternoon. Right now, though, Pledge, we're going to do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
And I know. I've expressed my distaste for what's going on in Los Angeles these days between LeBron James and Bronny James, and what happened the other night I thought was an embarrassment to the NBA. But there are a lot of people that disagree with me, including Kenny the Jet Smith. Now, Kenny the Jet Smith, apparently on TNT last night, I didn't hear this, but according to an article in Awful Announcing, he made the quote is, anyone who criticizes Bronny just doesn't know basketball. So apparently I don't know basketball. Kenny the Jet Smith, and who am I to argue
I could
with
have
him?
told you that.
Well, who am I to argue with Kenny the Jet Smith when it comes to basketball things? But I want anybody to tell me, please, that Bronny James is an NBA player. Is he going to be an NBA player? Is there a potential for him to be an NBA player? Well, according to Kenny Smith, there is, because he goes on to say that he was a McDonald's All-American, which means he's one of the top 20 prospects in basketball at his age. He was a second-round pick, What a second-round pick means, according to Kenny Smith, ladies and gentlemen, it means you're drafted strictly on potential. Your year is not your first year. It's the summer of your first year. That's why they draft most second-round draft picks. All of that is true. All of that I agree with Kenny Smith. And again, I'm not somebody that can disagree necessarily when it comes to Kenny Smith on things of basketball and such. However, don't you think the only reason the guy was drafted is because his dad wanted him drafted by the LA Lakers? I mean, there's no other reason, because honestly, I don't think he's drafted otherwise. Now, I've heard the stories that there were other teams interested, and maybe that's true. I just don't think that he is ready. I think maybe a couple of years in the G League, he'll be ready, and I'll be eating my words 3-4 years from now. And if that's the case, I will happily do that. I just think, and I'm not talking nepotism, guys, girls. I'm really not. That's not what I'm saying. I know it happens all the time in all kinds of businesses and yada, yada, yada. What I'm talking about is being an NBA player and contributing to a team. Second-round pick, going to the G League, most second-round picks just go there. Most second-round picks don't play in the opening game of the season unless your father is LeBron James. That's all I'm saying. Kenny is right about Bronny. Potential, perhaps. We'll see. But I don't think I'm wrong. Not as it stands right now. I really don't think I'm wrong about Bronny James. He's just not ready. And you can say all you want to say. It was a heart attack or whatever the case may be. And that's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. It is unfortunate. But he wasn't very good at USC before that happened. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to give him – I reserve the right to be off or a little wrong when it comes to Bronny James. We'll see about 3, 4, 5 years from now if Bronny James is a contributing star in the NBA, the National Basketball Association. Kenny Smith says I'm wrong. What do you think, Pledge?
I just want to bring up a couple of names to you.
Yeah.
Jerron Blossom game, Caddy Lalane, Quindary Weatherspoon, Joe Wieskamp.
Okay.
Spurs second-round picks.
Right.
Spent most of their time in the G League. Got to see some actions at some point.
I
mean, what you're describing of Bronny is exactly what those guys are. It is potential. Could he, after a few years in the G League, develop into something? Sure. Or he could just be the next one of the players I just mentioned that's out of the league in 3 to 4 years.
They could very well be, and that's kind of the point.
But he's the exact same as all of the other guys I've mentioned. He is a potential player that likely will spend most of his time in the G League, but all these guys also got minutes in an NBA game at some point. So
never opening night in an important game. I say an important game. It was the opening night game in the second quarter. And the Lakers were up 15 at the time. But, by the way, they got outscored 7-2 in the 3 minutes that Bronny James was in there. I'm not saying that's all his fault. But I'm just saying it was a gimmick. I think we can all agree on that. Can we not? It was a gimmick. And it's over. He's going to the G League. And I wish him the best of luck. I really do. I wish him the best of luck. LeBron earned that. Give him his respect. It's over.
Would you feel better if LeBron basically came out and said, yeah, I used my power as a player to make this happen? Because
I would have more respect for him.
This.
Yes, I would have more respect for the entire process if he would do that. Saying, look, I wanted it to happen. I wanted to play with my son. I've been in the league for a long time. I've done wonders for this league, which he has. So they did me this giant favor. The Lakers did me this giant favor. The NBA did me this favor. So, yeah, I'd have a lot more respect for the whole process if he would do that. It's never going to happen because what did he say, Pledge? You still have that soundbite?
The LeBron
you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, all right. Pledge is going to play. This is what LeBron James said in the post-game locker room after the circus sideshow that was. If you don't have it, Pledge,
I got it.
No. All right.
Like you said, we still had a job to do when we checked in. We wasn't trying to make it a circus. We wasn't trying to make it about us. We wanted to make it about the team.
Okay, see, then that just loses all credibility right there.
He wasn't trying to make it a circus.
Wasn't trying to make it a circus. It was all about the team. No, it wasn't all about the team. It was all about you, and that's fine. It's over. It's done. And I don't think you'll ever see the Lakers floor again this season for sure, but we'll wait and see. As we continue on with the headline blitz, I got to tell you about this. Have you ever done something really stupid when you're drunk? I'm pretty sure we all have. Well, how about this? How about dressing up as a kangaroo, getting on a Zamboni, and crashing it? That's what happened to a dude in Canada, and the video is funny as hell, and I invite you to go. I found this on Outkick, the website Outkick, and it actually has video of this guy on a Zamboni in a hockey rink, by the way. And you see some guy on skates trying to get him off. But the guy's obviously hammered. He's in a kangaroo suit, and he's driving this Zamboni, and he crashes the Zamboni, and they finally get him off. And I would imagine he was arrested or whatever they do to folks in Canada when they drive Zambonis dressed as kangaroos drunk. It was the funniest video. It's just nuts.
I've got to step up my game.
Yeah, well, you really did. Do you have a kangaroo suit, Pledge?
I don't, but I need to get one apparently, or maybe like a flying squirrel suit or something.
And we got to find a Zamboni. Find a Zamboni in a kangaroo suit, and we'll go to town. We'll have some drinks and see what that is all about.
You want to up them, go with a platypus.
A platypus. That is grumpy-ass Greg Shelton right there chiming in. Doing that, but yeah, a platypus. I don't know if anybody. Where do you get a kangaroo suit?
Amazon.
I'm sure Amazon has one. I mean, Amazon has just about everything. But it's funny video. If you could, you got two of them. See, there's crazy people out here at Little Woodrow.
I need one. Tell them I need one.
Yeah. Hey, my producer wants to rent that from you. All right. Okay. Both of them. Oh my! See, it's getting crazy out here. You're missing out. Everybody out there that's not at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road ought to have FOMO big time because you're missing out. Get out here and join us. Little Woodrow's, Braun Road, courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. Greg Shelton just pulled it up on Amazon. There's a kangaroo suit. Oh my goodness. We're going to have a party, Pledge. Absolutely. Come on out and join us. Party with us on this Thursday night. What do you guys think of the Frostbank Center? Do you like it? Do you think it's a great place, or is it a dump? Well, the folks at ESPN ranked all NBA arenas, and you might be surprised where the Frostbank Center sits. We'll talk about that when we continue from Little Woodrow's on Braun Road here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Cancer claims our loved ones every day. When the Beyer family lost company founder Perry Beyer to cancer, they established Beyer Cares. And this October, during Cancer Awareness Month, Beyer Boys will donate a portion of all service fees to the American Cancer Society. Please join us in our fundraising goal by visiting BeyerCaresFoundation.com. There's a can in cancer, because together, we can beat it.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
What did Axel do? He threw a microphone or something?
Yeah, he's been doing it for like 30 years, throwing his mic into the audience, and he finally smacked somebody in Australia, hit him in the face.
I've changed my routine at the end of the show. Instead of throwing a microphone,
yeah,
I'm going to throw brass instruments.
No.
I love my audience. Here's the French horn.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable, available where fuel additives are sold.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday night report absolutely free on recorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Minnesota at LA tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Minnesota, Los Angeles, confirmed analysis, plus hoops and special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Get them for free on a recorded message, 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, number one against the spread, 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Minnesota, Los Angeles, plus pro hoops action. I love to go 5-0 the season 3. John Anthony Sports, number one against the spread, 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
The Morning Huddle.
There's an article on The Athletic talking about the bottom of the Western Conference and how it's going to shape out this year and how they expect the bottom of that conference to look like, basically the non-playoff teams. I think we're a part of that. They think so too. Yeah. But I'm curious if you think you're in the right region of that conversation.
We're treading water, but we are still in the swirling toilet.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minnick's under the weather. He is off. James Pledger is back at the station. He is punching all the buttons and making this thing run. Gregg Shelton, the engineer, on site. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but he's here, and I guess that's all that matters. He's making the things happen out here. We are out at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road, and it's all courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling, and we're giving away stuff. We got Kanga coolers over here. I see a bunch of those, and the grand prize today is tickets to the November 10th Dallas-Philadelphia game in Arlington. Not to mention the ultimate tailgate party Bill Bates's ultimate tailgate party before the game. So all of that, you've got an opportunity to win. You got to get out here, though, and register. The Little Woodrow's location on Braun Road, that's where we are. Come party with us and come have some fun with us. ESPN just they did a survey of arenas around the NBA from top to bottom. And, of course, obviously, the Frost Bank Center is included in that. Well, San Antonio, let me just say this. The Frost Bank Center, according to the fine folks that did this survey, is dead last. It is dead last in the league. So
shocked.
obviously, yes.
Shocked, I tell you.
All kinds of sound. It's ranked dead last in the league, and they say this at 29 with the Clippers' new arena, the Intuit Dome. But obviously the Intuit Dome is incomplete. They haven't had an opportunity to see it and sample all the food and all of that stuff. Now, ESPN in the survey points out that the arena is too far from downtown San Antonio and that the food and concessions are also ranked low among other NBA arenas. I don't know. I've always thought the food is decent at the Frost Bank Center. That one I may not agree with, although when you're there and you're hungry, everything tastes good, I guess. But I didn't think it was bad at the Frost Bank Center.
I mean, have you had it compared to other?
Well, I've had other arenas during my time in television when I was traveling around. So it all kind of tastes the same to me. I'll be honest with you. I mean, what's fun and exciting about stuff like this is like arenas and stadiums are branching out and they're adding new stuff. It used to be it was a good hot dog or a hamburger or whatever, and that was about it. And you were happy to get that. Maybe one of those big pretzels, and so that you were lucky to get that kind of stuff. And now they've got all these fancy schmancy stuff at some of these arenas that you can feed about 25 people buying one item. But look, this is no surprise. The Frost Bank Center opened up in 2003, and it's old for arenas. I mean, it just is. And you're looking at 21 years now. By the time a new one is built, conservatively speaking, 2028, you see how old that thing is going to be.
I mean, just for context, an arena just as old, the Paycor Center, where Oklahoma City Thunder play, is ranked 19th. It is just as old as.
But they're already building a new one.
They are, but the one that they're ranking currently, the Paycor, which was open the same year as the Frost Bank Center was, is 10 spots higher on the list.
Well, I don't look at Oklahoma City Pledge. They try to copy everything we do, man. They've got their sorry excuse for a river walk in downtown Oklahoma City, and it's just just not, doesn't even compare to our river walk. They try to steal everything we do. It just is. But look, there will be a new arena here. I don't think there's any question about that. And I know some people are against it for whatever reason. I don't think it's going to cost San Antonio residents anything. The Alamo Dome didn't. Now, I'm not sure exactly how that works. There's only so many taxes and so many times that you can tax a hotel or downtown facility or whatever the case may be. But that's how the Alamo Dome was built. That's how the Alamo Dome was paid off in a year, by the way, completely paid off in 1 year's time. So it can be done that way where there is no cost to the residents of San Antonio. And it's going to happen. I mean, look, it's going to happen. I don't think there's any question about it. And teams threaten to leave if they don't get a new facility, but it's time. It is time, and it's just the cost of doing business, if you will. I just, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Or the Spurs will find somewhere where somebody will make it happen. And it's just a fact of life. And that's not something the Spurs have threatened. And I'm not saying that they have, because they certainly have not. But it will happen, because they will get to a place where someone would build them an arena. And it's just the way it goes. If you want a professional team in your city, then you've got to keep up to date with the stuff there. Look, I thought the Frost Bank Center back then was called the SBC Center when it first opened. It was kind of a barn-looking thing then. I mean, it was not the fanciest looking thing in the world, right? It was just, it was, I don't know, it wasn't like a modern arena, although it was nice, very nice. I like the close quarters because there's really not a bad seat in that place for watching a basketball game. There's really not. I mean, everywhere you're at, it's a pretty good seat. So in that respect, I thought it was great. Smaller venue type thing. But yeah, it's time. I get it. 1991 Freedom Ride. I understand what you're saying. He says, Joe, just tired of welfare for wealthy owners. I understand what you're saying, but you've got to understand, whether it's Freedom Ride or anybody else that might be against this, the benefits to the city when you have a professional sports team outweigh what you might have to pay for upgrading and keeping it here. I'll give you an example. When the Spurs had their 20-year run of playoffs, their championships, the advertisement that this city got for free because they were on television, on national television, playing, whether it was a finals game or playoff games or whatever the case may be, they're always showcasing the city that they're playing in. And you can ask any PR person. I guarantee you they will agree with me on this. You can't buy that for anything that's cheap, obviously. It would cost a lot of money to buy that kind of publicity. And look, San Antonio is a tourist destination. It's a tourist town. You want to advertise that, and you want to let people know that, hey, San Antonio's got this, we got that, we got this, and it's a great place to come and bring your family on vacation. It pays for itself, folks. I'm telling you, it does. And you can't buy that kind of advertisement. And so it's going to happen. How will they make it happen remains to be seen. And we'll all get an opportunity to vote on it. And that has to happen. We'll all get that opportunity to vote on it. So, but a new arena for San Antonio, for the Spurs, it's got to happen. It's time. And look, if they approved it today, you're looking at 2028 most likely before that thing would be ready to go. So there'll be a lot of things that you'd have to do in the meantime. Number one, keep Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio. That would be the first priority. And I think an arena would go a long way to doing that. The Spurs have improved themselves a lot. When you look at the practice site that they've got now, it is just fantastic. That place is awesome. But it's all part of it. You know, we talk a lot about college recruiting. We used to. Now you just pay players and they'll go. But it used to be college recruiting, and it was about the facilities. It's the same thing in pro sports. It's the exact same thing. Pledge, what do you think?
Just so we're all kind of in the same ballpark, the Intuit Dome was just opened last night.
Yeah.
Took just under 37 months to build.
There you go. So 3 years is what you're talking about. And look, you're talking about a hefty price tag. You're talking about $1 billion. $1 billion, I would say, at least, for a state-of-the-art arena, a nice arena, downtown arena. It would have to be downtown. And it will be. I mean, they've got the spot for it. So, look, it's going to happen. Just a matter of how it's going to happen, who's going to pony up to make it happen, and all of those kind of things. But trust me, the publicity is worth it. It is worth it. It's the identity of your city. It truly is, in a large part. I'm not saying it's the only identity of your city, but it's a huge part of the identity of your city. Because anywhere I go, people know I'm in sports or not, they're always there. At some point in time, you bring up the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
You bring up Victor Wembanyama. I get asked that a ton at different places that I go. And that's what people identify your city with. I mean, look at Buffalo, New York. Would you know Buffalo, New York, if you didn't know the Buffalo Bills? Well, maybe if you go to Niagara Falls. I don't know. But I'm just saying it is an identity
Kansas
for
City.
the city. Kansas City is another. So it's that identity. And look, it's worth it. It will come to a vote, and we're going to have this discussion a lot between now and that time, whenever it is put on a ballot here in San Antonio for people to vote on it. But it is it's going to come up for a vote, and then you can decide. You can decide. They'll lay out exactly how this is going to be, how it's going to be paid for, how much might come out of the Spurs ownership pockets, which some of it may. And then some of it's going to come from another revenue source, whether that's a tourist tax or whatever else it may be. So we'll see. And I look forward to the conversation when that happens because it's going to be an interesting conversation.
The most recent two stadiums built in the NBA. You have the Chase Center where the Golden State Warriors play. That was $1.67 billion. And then the Intuit Dome, which just opened, cost $2 billion. So those are the price points of the last two NBA stadiums that have been built.
Well, I don't think ours, we could probably get the same stadium built for a little bit less. You're talking about San Francisco and Los Angeles. So I think maybe it might be a little cheaper here for the same result, just because of what's going on there in the state of California. So it might be a little bit cheaper there. Who knows? But we're going to have this conversation. It will happen. It's going to happen. It is just a matter of time. So get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen, because it is going to happen. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the leadership ability of one Aaron Rodgers. And I bring that up not because I dislike the man, but because the newest player on the New York Jets is showing more leadership ability than the quarterback that's been there for a year and a half now. We are out at Little Woodrow's here at the Braun Road location. Come on out and see us. Register for some great prizes, including Kanga Coolers, the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party on November 10th, and then you go to the game. Dallas, Philadelphia. Going to be a big one. Come on out here, register. Start your weekend on this Thursday out here at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road. The Blitz continues from Little Woodrow's, coming up right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
I think he's a bum.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Want to feel better and look better? Been experiencing dry skin, lack of desire in life, hair loss, brain fogginess, or low libido? Men, this goes for you too. All of this can be due to imbalances with your hormones, and we can help. Just taking hormones is not the answer. With state-of-the-art testing and customized wellness plans, we balance your hormones and get you well. It's what we do. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free evaluation, 468-1891.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Andrew Monaco and the Aggies right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. They got a big game this weekend, taking on LSU. That should be a good one. Of course, we'll talk to Andrew Monaco tomorrow, as we do every Friday in advance of an Aggie football game. All Aggie football games you can hear right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's a beautiful day. It's even a better day if you got your butt down here to Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, and started your weekend with us. A lot of folks have done that. A lot of folks sitting here enjoying a cold flight by Yingling and registering. We just gave away a Kanga cooler. Didn't we, Renee? The first Kanga cooler just got passed out. We got two more to give away. And then, of course, the grand prize today that we're going to give away right about 6 o'clock or so are the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party on November 10th, and then tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game right after that. So a heck of a Sunday in Arlington. So come on down here and register for that, and come on down here and party with us because we're having a great time. You know, Pledge, I had no idea, I'll be honest with you, that a lot of folks are passionate about this, about the new arena situation. And I think it's going to be one heck of a conversation. You see Joe on our YouTube channel says, how about we finish up these highways first before building a stadium? I'm getting some applause for that one. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a passionate debate. There's no question about it. The Alamo Dome, I remember that. It was a passionate debate. The Frost Bank Center as well.
The problem is, though, the Alamo Dome was, a build it and they will come situation.
It was.
And they just never came. The Frost Bank Center or the Project Marvel, that's to keep what you have.
Project Marvel.
Isn't that what they call it?
It is. Yeah, no, it just sounds like a movie. Right? What kind of movie you like, Pledge?
A Marvel movie, exactly.
Marvel movies, yeah. That's what it sounds like to me. But no, I hear what you're saying. But look, the Alamo Dome, whether you liked it or not, and whether they came or not, and they obviously didn't, that place has been fantastic. We're getting another Final Four next year in that building. We've had a lot of big events in that building. So I think that certainly folks can't sit there and say, look, the Alamo Dome was not worth it. It brought us a lot of stuff and is still bringing us a lot of stuff. Frost Bank Center. Man, I don't know how many concerts I've seen in that building. It's been fantastic for that. And then obviously I lived there for about 25 years when I was in TV. I was there all the time. It was great.
And
but
it can
is
still
time
do
for a new one.
concerts and
Absolutely.
and the rodeo.
It's not going to go away.
You don't have to leave for a month anymore during the month of February, the entire month of February, basically, to go on the road anymore if they have their own place where you can also hold the rodeo and concerts throughout the year while the Spurs are still in season. Like having a big concert venue now, they're fighting for dates between the Spurs and concerts. You don't have that conflict anymore if you have an extra arena.
Well, that's absolutely true. All of that is true. And they'd have to find something to do with the Frostbank Center on a more permanent basis. So if the Spurs leave there and there's a new building built. But we'll cross all of that when we come to it. But if you want to chime in on that, we'll talk more about it as we go along today. The numbers are 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can comment on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. Or if you're on our YouTube page, I invite you to go to our YouTube page, like and subscribe to our YouTube page. You can comment there as well, which a lot of folks are certainly doing. All right, if you listen to the show at all, or maybe you don't, my disdain for Aaron Rodgers is well known. I'm not a big fan of Aaron, and I was, actually. The guy was a good quarterback, obviously, MVP, Super Bowl champ, but I think he's done. I think his time has passed him by, and I think he's really turned into an arrogant donkey, if you want to know the truth. I mean, the guy really has. This is exactly right. And that was reinforced to me by Davante Adams. Davante Adams has been a New York Jet for 10 days, maybe a week? It hasn't been long. But Davante Adams walked into that building and went to a microphone and a camera and said, I got to do something about the mess that's taking place here.
It's not really my personality to see something that's not right and to just let it go on, regardless of whether it's from the coaches, players, management, support staff, whoever. So obviously it was a lack of energy and urgency out there, and it was apparent, especially coming from, I've played on teams that have that winning culture, and just basically I just took a moment to let them know, like, I had reservations about speaking up too early and being too vocal too early, but I felt like, in my mind I said F that, because I need to, we don't have time, and I got to do whatever I got to do to help this team move forward. And lacking energy, I mean, that's a prerequisite to be able to go out there and have a good year or have a good play or, whatever it is. So in my mind, it was something that I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I didn't speak up on it. And, I got a lot of good feedback, which it wasn't a big rah-rah thing. It was just more, to bring awareness to it, because a lot of these guys in here haven't been anywhere else where they've won and, have had that urgency that it takes in order to be a good team. So, this team being so talented on the, roster-wise, it's just a waste to have everybody out there and, to have a dead sideline like that. Brees catch a ball and go 60, and we can't feed off none of the energy. And those type of plays are supposed to be contagious for the rest of the team. So that's basically what I saw and what I told them is a thing. I'm not here to be the savior. Everybody was looking, the whole world. Trump was at the game. I don't know if that's because of me or not, but I mean, everybody's sitting here expecting it to be, me go out there and put up 200 yards and 3 tugs when, that's a storybook ending to it. And obviously that would have been amazing if that happened, but I'm here to help shift this culture more than anything. I can go out there and make the plays that I can make and try to, influence guys, as much as I can, but I'm trying to, enforce a winning mindset on these guys. And if you don't have, the energy, which is the least you got to have, I mean, you only get 17 games. We can talk like that's a lot of games or not, but, I also said to them, this ain't baseball. We got a few opportunities to come out here, show what we work on, all the crazy blood, sweat, and tears we put into this, and, to have only 17 options to come out flat like that and essentially give away a game. that's unacceptable. So, just trying to bring a different type of swag and culture in here.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I listen to Davante Adams there, I hear leadership. I hear a leader coming into a building, seeing a problem and wanting to address it right away. Isn't that the quarterback's job? I mean, isn't that part of the quarterback's job? And I'm talking about you, Aaron Rodgers. What have you been doing since you've been there for a year and a half? Your team's horrible. You're playing horrible football. And it's a circus show. But Davante Adams is there for a week, and he sees a problem. He sees a culture that's horrible. I want to say something good about Aaron Rodgers. I really do. And I really don't. He's just not a leader. Maybe he was at one time. Maybe he was. But he's not anymore. Aaron Rodgers could have stood up and gave the same speech that Davante Adams just gave right there. So this is enough. We got to play football. We got to get our stuff together. But instead, you got a guy that walked in the building and has been there 1 week, and he's already talking and getting the team together and trying to fix a culture that he had nothing to do with. And Davante Adams says, some of these guys haven't been in a winning culture, and they don't know what it's like to win. Well, you're right. You have, Davante. Then when you played with the guy that's your quarterback now, my goodness, Aaron. Get it together or go get a job somewhere else. Go do something else. Maybe Pat McAfee will give you a job on his show. My gosh, man. Come on. Step up and be a leader. Be a quarterback. You were supposed to be the savior of the New York Jets, and you've been anything but a savior. All right, I'm going to settle down for a while. We got some breaking news. What do we got, Pledge?
Well, the Los Angeles Rams are activating Puka Nacua off the injured reserve, and he will play in tonight's game along with Cooper Kupp when the Vikings take on the Rams. A game you can catch right here.
Yeah, that's huge news, obviously, for the LA Rams, and not good news for the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, a 3.5-point favorite, depending on where you look. 3-point favorite in some places, but and they need a win. But the LA Rams are they're not a horrible team, even though their record shows it, and they are what their record says they are. But to have both of those guys back for Matthew Stafford is going to be huge, and that might have just made up my mind of what I'm going to do tonight. What do you think, Pledge? Would that change your mind? The fact that Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua now are in and going to play, I might have you leaning toward the Rams a little bit, wouldn't it?
I kind of like Los Angeles tonight. I don't know if to win, but definitely with the points.
Yeah, I need to go and check BetUS there and see if that point spread is going to change now that Puka Nacua is going to play tonight. That's interesting news, and that should be a good football game. And by the way, you can watch it right here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun location, 1604 in Braun Road. That's where we are. Courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. They're out here. They're passing out cold flights right now. You can register for a lot of good prizes like Kanga coolers. Those things are fantastic, especially if you're a golfer. You don't have to be a golfer. You can do anything. But those coolers hold a 12-pack of beer, and it's awesome. So those are good. But the grand prize that we're going to be giving away about 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 6, is the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, November the 10th in Arlington. And then you also get tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game there in Arlington, November the 10th. But you got to come out here to Little Woodrow's and get registered. That's what Renee's doing from Flight by Yingling. He's getting folks registered. He's also got a bunch of buckets of cold Flight by Yingling, which I'm really jealous about because it'd be really easy to just go grab one of those things. But I got a couple hours before I can do that, unfortunately. But he'll keep bringing them out, I guarantee you, because that's the kind of guy he is. He just gives and gives and gives, doesn't he? Just gives and gives and gives.
He's a giver.
He's a giver. That's what Renee does. He just gives. He's happy when he gives stuff away. He's like Santa Claus. That's what Renee is. Absolutely. So we're giving stuff away. Come on out and join us. Have some fun with us. Everybody out here at Little Woodrow's is having a great time, and you can join in on the fun as well. We got a lot more to talk about. I tell you what, Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys will join us at 4:30 today. A lot to talk to Stephen Jones about. We got John McClain coming up at 5:15, talking Houston Texans football and what happened to the Texans. Are they going to be able to recover from that Green Bay loss and the offensive line play? Can that be fixed? All kinds of things to talk to him about. And we're still taking your calls. If you want to talk about the San Antonio Spurs arena, a new one, should we build, should we not? You can do that. 656-3776, 656 ESPN. You can also comment on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. That's how you can get a hold of me. Or go to our YouTube page. Subscribe and like our YouTube page. You can comment there as well. A lot of folks are doing that on our YouTube page right now. Still talking about the new NBA arena. They're talking about the new Mission Stadium that's going to be built downtown as well. So a lot of things happening. And what do you think about Puka Nacua? Will that make a difference? Will that change your mind about tonight's game? If you were leaning Minnesota, does that change your mind? Will you now think about the LA Rams? I will. You already heard Pledge will, right? So, and a lot of fantasy football managers are very happy about that, I'm sure, as well. So lots happening here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location right off 1604. Come on out and see us. We're having a fantastic time. Spurs game will be on here tonight. I guarantee you that. There's so many TVs in this place. The Spurs taking on the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back. Before we talk to Stephen Jones, and, well, a lot of football news to get to today. Bryce Young's going to get one more chance. We're going to talk about that and a lot more. Keep it right here. Come out and see us. Better yet, Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. Come see us, courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. We'll continue with the Blitz right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20 after a bye. It's the first of 2 road games. Dallas and San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it. How about them, Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hey, James Pledger. The NBA is finally back. Play Pick 6 from DraftKings, an official partner of the NBA. It's super simple to get started. First, download DraftKings Pick 6 app. Then, select 2 or more players, like Wemby and CP3, and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like points, rebounds, three-pointers, and more. And for all first-time Pick 6 players, check this out. New customers play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use promo code KTFM. That's code KTFM for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18. Plus, age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus award as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now, get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
George gets justice. The attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers are proud of their local roots and their deep connection to San Antonio. They stand up for their neighbors, fight for justice, and make sure every voice is heard. When you've been injured in an accident, count on George Salinas Injury Lawyers. George guarantees that you don't pay anything unless they win your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs tip off the regular season tonight. They're going to take on the Mavericks in Dallas. Game will be televised on TNT beginning at 6:30. Well, Todd Archer of ESPN is saying after signing big deals before the start of the season, both Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are predicted to restructure their deals by March in order to create more salary cap space in the offseason. And the New Orleans Saints and Alvin Kamara, they reach a deal on an extension.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, everybody. Good Thursday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I am, because we're partying on this Thursday afternoon at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road locations, right off 1604 and Braun Road. That's where we are today, courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. They're out here today giving away stuff, Kanga coolers. We've got tickets to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party we're giving away today about 6 o'clock, along with tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game that same day on November the 10th. So come on out here and party with us. Register to get some cool stuff. And not only that, some ice-cold Flight by Yingling. That is everywhere around here today. So come on out here to Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, and party with us. We're having a great time. I'm Joe Reinagel. James Pledger is back at the station running things. Greg Shelton is over here running things here at Little Woodrow's. Jason Minix, I'm not sure what he's doing. Hopefully he's asleep at home, recovering, and getting well, because he's a little bit under the weather, or a lot under the weather occasionally. He said he couldn't talk today, and I was pretty happy about that. I was hoping he'd come in. And if he couldn't talk and nobody could understand him, then it'd be no problem. But no, I hope he gets well and back sooner rather than later. That is a live feed from Jason Minix's house. We can just kind of peek in every now and then and hear how Jason is doing. Let's peek in, Pledge. Yeah, there you go. He's coughing a little bit, not doing too good. But hopefully he does get well and gets back sooner rather than later, because he's certainly missing out here, Pledge. I'll tell you that. This Little Woodrow's is a really cool place. I have to admit, I've never been to this location. I've been to the other location out near Stone Oak, but I've never been to this one. And no offense to the folks out there, but this one is bigger. Oh. It's nicer. Yeah, it is. They've got a huge outdoor area with TVs all over the place. I'm sitting here. I just watched it, and I didn't know. Texas lost to Georgia. Texas lost to Georgia. Did you know that? I just saw the end of it right there, 30-15. It was crazy. Wasn't even close. They were just replaying that game, by the way. But this is a really cool place. I had a burger out here for lunch. It was fantastic.
Nice.
It's good, and it looks like everybody's having a great time. And they should, because our friends at Flight by Yingling are passing out ice cold beer and giving stuff away. So you got time to come out here. We're going to give away those tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game, along with the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party. We're going to give those away right around 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 6, but right around 6 o'clock. And it would be better, and it would behoove you to be here when that drawing is made. I'm just saying. Okay, it would be better if you're here. So come on out and see us and start your weekend a day early. Will you do that? Come on out. Pledge, I just saw a story, and it doesn't surprise me at all. This is on Hoops Hype. And the headline is, former trainer sues Clippers for wrongful termination regarding Kawhi Leonard treatment for injuries. So what that tells me is that Kawhi is still blaming every medical person that he can think of for how he is being treated, because that's what happened here in San Antonio. You know, the doctors weren't any good. He had to go get his own, yada, yada, yada. And again, so the trainer said, the heck with it. I treated him well, and you fired me for it. So he's suing the LA Clippers for wrongful termination. It's going to be interesting to follow that and see where that goes, if it goes anywhere.
I hope he wins.
I do too. The trainer's name is Randy Shelton. Any relation to you, Greg?
Distant cousin.
Distant cousin.
Well, you may have to call that distant cousin pretty soon.
Well, no, we'll wait to see if he wins the case or not.
Exactly. Other than that, he won't do it. But he says he was suing the franchise for wrongful termination. It says, among other things, he says, he claims he was fired after complaining that Kawhi Leonard was being subjected to unsafe and illegal treatment for injuries. So now, if I'm reading this right, how Kawhi was being treated, this trainer is saying was unsafe and illegal. So they fired him. So they're trying to get Kawhi on the floor, which is damn near impossible now. I'm not sure when the last time that dude played. Worst superstar in the NBA or any professional sports for that matter. Number 2, don't know when he's going to be back, by the way. They said now it could be the first few games. Now I'm hearing it could be several weeks, or who knows whether he'll be back at all. I don't think the Clippers are going anywhere anyway, but that's going to be interesting to follow, this trainer suing the Clippers for wrongful termination, and Kawhi Leonard's name is right there attached to it.
I hope he wins and gets every penny, because that organization deserves it for what they've sold their soul to.
I couldn't say that better myself, quite honestly. They really have. They've done that, and number 2 is just kind of a – he's just kind of a franchise killer. I mean, that's what he does.
Let's face it. With number 2 being a franchise killer that he is, I think it's now proven over multiple stops for Kawhi. So everybody that slammed the Spurs medical staff and the media after he got his way and got out of San Antonio, I think the city of San Antonio and their medical staff deserve a full apology.
Oh, I totally do. They should. They'll never get one. That's the problem. And, boy, I will never forget when we're going through all that stuff, Pledge. It was crazy because I talked to the doctors, and they would talk to you, and it's just and even Dr. Smith now, who is retired, just a great guy. But all of that medical staff were the best in the business. And they just that guy was he just wanted out of town. That's what he wanted. He wanted to get to exactly where he is, Los Angeles. That's why Pop shipped him as far away from Los Angeles as he possibly could. That was Toronto. He won a championship there. You gotta give him credit for that. But I think that's about the last time he's contributed to anything. Really, when you look at it, I don't know if he's contributed to anything after that Toronto Raptors championship. But he's just a franchise killer. He dropped a bomb on this franchise as soon as he left here. He got the hell out of Toronto as soon as he could, and he got to where he wanted to be, and now he's ruining that franchise as well. Although that franchise, if any franchise in the NBA deserves it, maybe that one does. The fact that they got a new arena is pretty surprising.
It's beautiful.
But it's probably the Lakers wanted them the hell out of theirs.
I think Ballmer just wanted his own place.
Well, of course he did.
Because he is one of, if not the richest owner in the NBA, I believe.
Well, I tell you what, he just I don't know. The last time the Clippers were good was when they had Chris Paul, right? I mean, and I'll never – that playoff series with the Spurs was a good one. I can't remember what year that was. I want to say that was right after the 14 championship, maybe?
Yeah, it felt like the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it kind of did, but it was a damn good series. But the Clippers won that thing in 7. I only know that because I made 3 trips to Los Angeles that year. Just go bam, 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 bam.
That was a first round series too.
It was a first round series. It sure was. So, kind of the beginning of the end. Now that's a good way to put it. But Kawhi Leonard, a trainer, suing the Clippers because of something to do with Kawhi's treatment. And so we'll continue to follow that one for sure because it's going to be interesting to see.
Dallas
Cowboys. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys have put out their injury report for today. And Daron Bland did not practice. Kalen Carson, full participant. Eric Kendricks, limited participant today. Micah Parsons did not practice. And, of course, John Stevens didn't practice. He's done for the year with that torn ACL. So that's where we're at right now. I thought Daron Bland had a chance to practice, but he didn't today. And I really thought he had an opportunity to play in this game on Sunday night. Mike McCarthy is saying that Micah Parsons has to practice at least once to have any chance at all to play on Sunday night. And I just don't see rushing that guy back. I don't care what happens on Sunday night. I just don't see rushing him back and getting him hurt even worse than he already is. So we'll see how that goes when the Cowboys face the San Francisco 49ers. Of course, that's coming up on Sunday night in a big prime time matchup. Spurs open up the regular season tonight in Dallas. And you know what? Gregg Popovich and even all of his experience and everything that he's going with, he still gets excited on opening night. We're going to hear from Pop. We'll hear from CP3 as well when we continue from Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. Come out and see us, courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling, giving stuff away. Come down here and register. We'll continue here on the Blitz right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the morning huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Well, it depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, let's talk about Stevens Roofing. I've been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time now. Very proud to do so. Local company, family-owned company, and they're the best in the business. And you know your roof is a really important part of your house, and you want to make sure that you have a reliable roofer you can trust. you can trust Stevens Roofing. They've been in business for so long, they got to be doing something right. They've got a lot of satisfied customers along the way. And it doesn't matter what kind of project you have. You got a commercial building that needs a roof, Stevens Roofing can do that. You want a metal roof on your house, Stevens Roofing can do that as well. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free when you give them a call at 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else on the planet looking to save a little money, you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing has you covered there as well. And solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. That's important these days. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656-PURE Connecticut.
Hey guys, it's AJ. I'm here to tell you about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. They're now accepting new memberships. They're open 7 days a week. Great atmosphere, great vibe, great food, great service. All skill levels welcome. Stop by. Check them out online, sacardhouse.com.
Attention Dallas Cowboys fans. Twin Peaks is giving away epic Cowboys jerseys all season just for catching game day with them. And with 4 San Antonio locations, get to Twin Peaks for every boys game for your chance to win. Ask your Twin Peaks girl for more details.
If you needed one more reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler, get this. Diamonds Direct maintains involvement in the entire diamond process and handpicks the best just for you. You see, any jeweler can claim to be a direct importer or have so-called partnerships overseas, but Diamonds Direct has special access that others simply don't have. Nobody can get closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Indeed, Diamonds Direct is recognized in the industry as a world diamond powerhouse with unrivaled buying power and decades of inside connections that go back to their roots as actual diamond cutters. Bottom line, Diamonds Direct is without question the jeweler here that can truly offer the absolute best value. We're true talking direct importer prices on hand-selected diamonds that come straight from the source. Make no mistake, Diamonds Direct refuses to be undersold on GIA-certified diamonds. And we challenge you, let us prove it. Diamonds Direct, your source for the ultimate diamond value. Proud to call Alamo City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
I was so excited when I heard the sandwich was back. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken. It's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet. But either way,
you're getting a winner.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. It's a matchup between two undefeated conference opponents as the Aggies take on the LSU Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, this is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, a little under the weather. He's off today. Hopefully he recovers and gets well pretty quick. Stephen Jones scheduled to join us here at the bottom of the hour. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. We'll talk to Stephen about everything that's been happening there with the Dallas Cowboys and getting ready for the game with the San Francisco 49ers coming up on Sunday. On this beautiful Thursday afternoon, we are out here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, right off 1604. Come on out and see us. It's courtesy of our friends from Flight by Yingling. They're giving away cold flights all over the place. They're also giving away Kanga coolers. And then, of course, the big prize is a good one, a very, very good one, by the way. It is the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party on November the 10th, followed by the game between Dallas and Philadelphia. And you have an opportunity to win tickets to both of those things. All you have to do is get down here to Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, and sign up because we're going to have a drawing at about 6 o'clock, roughly, right in there, give or take. So, and it'd be to your benefit to be here when that drawing is made. I'm just saying. All right, it would be here. But there's drawings throughout. It's going to be another drawing at about 5 o'clock for a Kanga cooler. So all of that is coming up. So get down here to the Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, right off 1604. Come party with us. This place is packed. Getting ready for a little Thursday night football action between Minnesota and the Rams. If you haven't heard, Puka Nacua is going to play. He's been activated. He is going to play for the Rams tonight. TJ Hawkinson is also going to play for the Minnesota Vikings. So that's somebody that they've been without. So they're getting a big piece back as well. And then you've got the Spurs opening up the season in Dallas tonight, taking on the Mavericks. You can see that game here at Little Woodrow's as well. It is the season opener for the Spurs. And I think all Spurs fans are excited. Look, preseason is preseason. Not a big fan of watching preseason stuff. You kind of get a look at some of the players, but not really. I want to see them when it really means something, when the games go into the record book, and that's what happens tonight. Spurs with a tough opening game in Dallas. First game for the Mavericks for Klay Thompson, who is now a Dallas Maverick. So that's going to be interesting to see. How does he fit into all of that stuff with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic? So it's going to be exciting. And I'm not the only one that gets excited. You're not the only one that gets excited. Pop still gets excited on opening night.
How can you not? You know, it's and going to Dallas to play a hell of a team. Start out on the road. It's a good experience for us, and I think they're going to be on television. So we're probably all excited. Yeah, in color. In color, everything. They will be televised tonight nationally, by the way, on TNT. It all gets started at 6:30. You can watch the Spurs. And look, it's still a young team. We talked about it. Even though they got Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes now, that added some veteran leadership to this group. But they are still young. A lot of raw talent that still needs to be guided in the right direction. But one thing Pop did say, that he knows this team a little bit more this year at this time than he did last year. I think I know a little bit more. They've got a little bit of corporate knowledge now, believe it or not, from the last 2 years, because all the things that we've gone through, really. So I think I know them pretty well. Victor is still somebody that they're learning how to play with. And, of course, you know, Harrison and Chris will add another dimension that they're going to have to get used to. But I think we know more about our team now than we did last year in general.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And that's what's going to make it good, especially with Wemby.
Wemby was like a deer in the headlights early on in the season last year. This year, I don't think he's going to be that way. With the experience he got last year, with the Olympic experience he got over the summertime, he's going to come in and I really believe hit the ground running. And I still honestly believe we've only scratched the surface about how talented this kid is and how good he is going to be. I think they're already penciling him in for Defensive Player of the Year. A lot of folks, James Pledger included, thought he should have won it last year. He was a rookie. He couldn't win it last year, but he most likely will. He most likely will win it this year. That's for sure. So we'll see how that goes. Now, CP3, it's going to be exciting to see CP3 on the floor with Wemby and the rest of those young fellas. And CP3 was asked a question about how good he thinks this team can be.
I think we're in control of that. You know, we got to show up day in and day out. We got to compete. But I think we just got to take it one day at a time. You know, I was telling some of the guys, we could come out and win our first game by a lot. We could come out and lose it by a lot, but it's a long season. You know, you can never get too high, never get too low.
It all starts tonight in Dallas. The Spurs season will kick off. It's going to be a fun one, I think. That is for sure. Stephen Jones set to join us here in about 5 minutes or so. We're at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. Come out and see us. Thank our friends from Flight by Yingling for making all of this possible. Grab yourself a cold flight and register for some great stuff. We'll take a break. Stephen Jones with the Dallas Cowboys joins us when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I want to tell you about the Golf Club of Texas. I love the Golf Club of Texas, not only to play golf because they've got some of the best course conditions in town. There's no question about that. But it is also a great place to go out and watch football, whether it's college football, pro football, doesn't make any difference. And, of course, tonight's football game, you got Minnesota and the L.A. Rams, and they are ready for you out there. $10 pizzas they're selling out there. So going out there, making your football watching headquarters. Pro tip. Go online at golfclubtexas.com, golfclubtexas.com. That's where the best rates are always available. Set up your tee time for early on Saturday or Sunday, and then stick around at the Golf Club of Texas. The 10 Cup restaurant's where you want to be. Great bar, great food. Watch all the football there is. They've even got an outside bar where you can sit down and watch all of that as well. It is a great place to go, a great place to hang out, and they're not closing until that game is over tonight, Sunday night, Monday night. Doesn't matter. Golf Club of Texas is right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the 10 Cup or round with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
What's that? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
So, Gigi, you think a woman's place is in the home cooking?
100%. We were not created. We were not born to do the same things.
Do you think that these are conversations that should be had before people get married?
It's such a hard conversation to have in the strip bar, though.
It's so loud in there.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The time for holiday hosting is upon us, so make your second bathroom second to none with HomeDepot.com's best savings of the season. Right now, enjoy up to 40% off select online bath. Find the latest on-trend styles of vanities, faucets, showers, tubs, toilets, and more, all at prices that will let your budget relax right along with you and your beautifully renovated bath. Get up to 40% off select online bath plus free delivery at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see HomeDepot.com/delivery for details.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators.
Like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to benkelaw.com. The Morning Huddle.
I don't want him knowing my trash.
No, yeah, like somebody.
No.
I don't want a listener to know.
There's some things I need to burn.
To pick up my trash because he might go through my stuff.
I don't want anybody to see like the entry. Like Flomax bottles and Viagra.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man. No, that preparation hates. That's for my eyes.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, a little bit under the weather, so he is taking today off, hopefully to rest and recover and get back sooner rather than later. We are expecting Stephen Jones, the COO of the Dallas Cowboys, to join us at any moment to talk about the happenings there in Dallas with the Cowboys as they prepare for a big game against the San Francisco 49ers coming up here on Sunday night. We are out at Little Woodrow's right now, however, and you can come out here and join us as well. It is the Braun Road location right off 1604. It is a great place to come and watch tonight's football game between Minnesota and the Rams or the Spurs opening night. They're going to have both here at Little Woodrow's, not to mention the fact that our good friends from Flight by Yingling are giving away all kinds of stuff. Just gave away another Kanga cooler to one lucky winner, so that was good. We've got another one left there, but the grand prize is that we're going to be giving away right about 6 o'clock or so is the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party. We're going to give that away November the 10th, followed by tickets to the game between Philadelphia and Dallas. All right, on November the 10th. That is the grand prize that we're giving away out here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. So come on out and join us because, well, it's a lot of fun out here, and this place is really, really hopping on this Thursday afternoon. A lot of folks out here enjoying a beautiful Thursday afternoon. If you haven't been to this place, it is fantastic. It is a huge outdoor area with TVs all over the place. If you're inside, there's TVs all over the place. In fact, where we're sitting right here by the front door, I'm watching about 6 different things on 6 different TVs. So it's not a bad place in the house, so to speak, inside or outside. So come on out here, find you a spot, get you a burger. The burgers are fantastic. Had one for lunch today. And the flight by Yingling is flowing. That is for sure, and they're giving away stuff. So come on out and join us. It is Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. You know, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and again, we're waiting on Stephen Jones to join us. Hopefully that will happen here in just a few minutes. But we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and what they've got coming up. And it is a big game against the San Francisco 49ers, a team that has really been their detriment over the last, several years. It's been a tough road to get over, a tough hump to climb for the Dallas Cowboys, but they get another opportunity against a banged-up 49er team. I mean, let's face it, a banged-up 49er team, although the Cowboys are banged up as well. We got the injury report. Micah Parsons did not practice today. Daron Bland did not practice today. So neither one of those guys on the practice field today. And Mike McCarthy said, as far as Micah Parsons is concerned, he has to practice. He has to in order to play on Sunday night. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be shocked if we see Micah Parsons out on the field on Sunday night when they take on the San Francisco 49ers. Mike McCarthy today had his press conference. And, one thing I think that we miss, the Cowboys, as bad as they've looked in their 3 losses, they're 3-3. They're 3-3. And a lot of teams are worse than that. A lot of teams a little bit better than that. But as far as the Cowboys go, Mike McCarthy said today every goal that they set before the season is still attainable.
Well, I think we're a team that's growing, and I think that's really where we were coming out of training camp. You can see it in Oxnard. We did a lot of good things. But our inexperience, whether it's a young player or a new veteran that's arrived at the time he's arrived, I mean, you got to keep working for those things together. But yeah, the belief, the energy, and all that—that's trust me, what goes on outside of the locker room is not an illustration of what's going on in the locker room. I mean, the practices, the way they go about it, the energy that they bring, all right. But that's not a clear picture of our football team. We've won 3 games on the road, and we're getting ready to go win a 4th. I mean, that's our mindset. That's the way we look at this. I think it's, I think the value of being accountable is important, but it also brings almost a higher scrutiny, because I think our guys do a really good job of being upfront and answering the questions. I mean, there's also, you may not need to answer the questions as much as our guys do. But I think our guys are very, very accountable, and I appreciate that. I'm proud of them for that. But yeah, all these things about what we're not doing right is not an illustration of our football team. It definitely does not reflect the confidence and belief that we have. So, this is a very good team. It's tough to play out there in Sunday night football. So we're really looking forward to going to get this 4th win.
Looking forward to it, but boy, it's going to be tough, and it always is in San Francisco, no question about it. But I find Mike McCarthy trying to stay positive there, and I will agree, because I think his players are holding themselves accountable, at least to the media. All right, and some of the players have not played well, and I would say some of the players, the effort has been lacking, just from what I've seen, just from the outside looking in, and that's I mean, seriously, and I don't think that I'm the only one that's seen that. And that's the problem. You got to put out that effort. And when you lose 47-9 to a Detroit Lions team on your home field, I mean, that's just embarrassing. But again, they are 3-3. They are 3-3, and everything is still attainable. And you got to look at that, and you got to look at that as a positive. In fact, Eric Kendricks, who I think will play Sunday night, didn't play against the Lions when they got beat, but I think he will be back. He did talk in the locker room, and he said, you just got to get through some of these rough times.
Man, you got to lean on each other. I feel like, there's been times we all have faced adversity, you know what I mean? So it's like we got to just dig deep to those times and, we're a good ball club, so we got to prove it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you think you're a good ball club, you got to prove it. And that's the thing. You got to get out there and prove it. On the road, this team has looked a lot different than they have at home. And look, their signature win this year was the win in Pittsburgh. That was the win that Dak Prescott led a game-winning drive, and that was a thing of beauty. I mean, it really was. Whether you're a Cowboy fan or not, you saw that, and you finally saw Dak lead his team on a game-winning drive. They got that done, and that's their signature win this year. Cleveland, nobody knew Cleveland was going to be the Cleveland that they've turned into when the Cowboys played them in game number 1. And then the Saints, they were playing well to open the season. Obviously, Derek Carr going down has hurt that ball club a lot, but they were able to put up some points against the Cowboys, too. So the 3 losses that they've had have been ugly, to say the least, right? I mean, they have been. They've been ugly, and I think that's where people get kind of panicky, if you will. And you look at it, and because when you listen to Eric Kendricks, it's like getting through the tough times. You're 3-3, dude. You're fine, and I think a 3-3 record at the break, at the bye week, is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but the way that it happened turned into a bad thing. DeMarvion Overshown spoke in the locker room, and he just simply said, "Look, we got to get things going.
We got to get going. Those first 6 weeks, September football, early October football, you're still trying to figure it out, and we seen some ups, and we seen some very lows. So we know this is a good opponent we looking forward to. Crazy atmosphere, and they're gonna play what they are. So we got to do the same thing.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And again, the 49ers record-wise, they'd like to be 3-3 at this point in time. They're under 500, and they have not played well this year at all. So they're going to be looking at this Cowboy game. They're going to be a desperate 49er team, no matter who plays and no matter who's out there. So it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Cowboys just because the 49ers are banged up. They won't have Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk won't be there. He's out for the season. Deebo Samuel's questionable. They're saying all the right things. The guy got out of the hospital on Tuesday, and they're saying there's a chance that he could play on Sunday night. All right, let's go to the Buyers Barricades guest line right now. The COO of the Dallas Cowboys, Stephen Jones, is on the line. He joins us here on the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel, Jason Minnick's off. Stephen, thanks for taking some time to join us here on the Blitz today. First thing I got to ask you, do a guy that's important as you to that football team, do you get to do anything fun over the bye week?
Well, you take a deep breath, and obviously when your team's not playing as well as you like, and certainly that's where we are right now. It's a little harder to decompress, but it is good to take a deep breath. I think our coaches, our players, everybody did, and hopefully you get some oxygen and you come up and you're ready to roll. And we feel really good about our future. I mean, I know you say, well, why? Because you're not playing your best football right now, but what makes me optimistic is, we got a head coach with skins on the wall. We got a defensive coordinator with skins on the wall. We got some stout veterans in our locker room, starting with Dak, that have skins on the wall. And, I just feel like, we're going to get the job done. We obviously got to play better. We're not playing our best football right now, but, sometimes a break like this is just what the doctor ordered, and feel like this group, we can get it together.
Stephen, I've got to ask you, because even over the bye week, it seems like the Cowboys catch a lot of criticism from every place imaginable, from Jerry on the radio to the tours at the Star there in Frisco, the article that came out on ESPN. Do you guys ever just kind of sit back and shake your head and say, man, people just continue to throw rocks?
Well, whenever they quit talking about you, that's a problem. And you want to be relevant. You always want to be relevant. And obviously, when you're 3-3 and not playing as well as we'd like to be playing, then what they're talking about is not going to be all positive. And at times it can be positive, and that's a good thing too. But at least you want people to care enough to want to talk about you, and that's certainly, I think is the case right now. And people are going to have opinions about why you're 3-3 and why you're not playing better. And we accept that. We deserve, you are what you are, as Bill Parcells used to say. Right now we're 3-3, and until we do something about that, then the criticism will come.
Well, you've got an opportunity now to go back out on the road at a place where it's been a tough challenge for the Dallas Cowboys recently. San Francisco, they're a banged-up team. You guys still a little bit banged up. Is there any update on a Micah Parsons, a Daron Bland? Any chance we could see them Sunday night?
Yeah, I think that's still a big question mark, and probably not unlike San Francisco. You're pointing to a team right there that's has been on a good run and considered one of the better teams in the NFC coming into the season that have struggled because of injury, and we're no different. But we've got to play with the hand we're dealt, and certainly all 32 teams go through this, and we're not unique. So we know we're right now we're the world's smallest violin in terms of people worried or feeling sorry for us. We just got to go to work and play good football.
Well, everybody's looking forward to that game on Sunday night. Stephen, I've got to ask you, we're visiting with Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Aubrey yesterday selected for a jury. And most people surprised, thinking, well, he probably could have gotten out of that. But I had a lot of respect for him, the fact that he went and then he was selected. What are your thoughts on Brandon Aubrey?
Well, Brandon will be ready to roll. He'll be ready to continue on not only the great season he's having, the great career he's having, and he'll be ready to play.
Well, that's good. And I admired the fact that he went and he did what he had to do. San Francisco a little bit banged up. Or you're still concerned about them, obviously, because just a winning culture there in San Francisco.
No question. I mean, my hat's off to that organization, the Yorks, Jed York, John Lynch, Coach Shanahan, that football team. They're winners. They're successful year in and year out. And that'll be a huge challenge for us. They are beat up, but we're beat up as well. So we're going to have go out there and line up and get after it. I know Coach Shanahan will have his team ready, and I know Coach McCarthy's going to have our team ready.
Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. Stephen, we always appreciate you taking time and visiting with us here in San Antonio.
Thank you, guys. Great being on.
Appreciate you, Stephen. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, courtesy of Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades, they're the best. Look them up at buyersbarricades.com. Stephen Jones with the Dallas Cowboys. And, I really thought that was a good answer by Stephen Jones when asked the question about the rocks that are thrown at him, because they are. Right? I mean, we had the Jerry Jones thing that some of that is self-inflicted, obviously, with Jerry Jones in the radio station. But, he said it best. You got to take those arrows when things aren't going well. And I love what he said about, look, if they're not talking about you, that's a problem. And everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was a great answer. And, I think this way you got to handle it in a lot of ways, don't you? You don't get upset. It is what it is. People are talking about you. People, the Dallas Cowboys are the topic du jour always, whether it's on this radio station, the Dallas radio station, ESPN, name them. Any show that there is, the Dallas Cowboys are typically the topic of conversation in some form or fashion. And a lot of times it's not good conversation ever. So a lot of criticism coming their way during the bye week for sure, and a lot of it self-inflicted. And it's interesting, the comments on YouTube, and I want to hear your comments if you got thoughts on what Stephen Jones had to say. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can get us there. You can reach me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. But on our YouTube page, J4 says, Stephen, you're lying, shaking my head. I'm not sure what he was lying about. I'd like to hear more about that. Why didn't you move with Derrick Henry? Look, J4, I get that. I get everybody's talking about that. But there's not a damn thing you can do about that. And I'm not sure what asking the question ad nauseum is going to solve. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen Derrick Henry in a Cowboys uniform. I think every Cowboy fan would have liked to have seen Derrick Henry in a Cowboy fan. But the Cowboys have been asked over and over and over again, and whether you agree with the answer or not, they've answered the question. Jerry said it He wasn't a fit. They couldn't afford him. Whatever the case may be, and we could all sit here and laugh at that, and we could, and I do, and I think they should have signed Derrick Henry. They still need a running back. I agree with all of that, but my problem is, I mean, how many times do you want the same answer? We can ask the question over and over and over. I mean, it makes no sense, and so. Look, I've got a limited time with Stephen Jones. We do every single time. And the questions that we ask and need to be asked, why no moves? I think there will be some moves. I think these next 2 weeks, I've said it, these next 2 weeks will tell a lot. They will tell a lot. If they win these 2 games, I think you'll see a move made, or 2, perhaps. If they lose them, I'm not sure that you will. If they split them, maybe then it's a question mark. But the Derrick Henry story to me is just it's over. It's over. It's been over now for 7 weeks. He's a member of the Baltimore Ravens. The Cowboys didn't go for him, whatever reason, whether you accept it or not or agree with it or not. They didn't. And to continue to ask the question, I think, is just a waste of time completely. Why no moves? I think there will be some moves. So we'll see what happens with the Cowboys. And I appreciate the passion from Cowboy fans. I really do. I appreciate it. But again, I won't continue to ask about Derrick Henry. I won't. It's done. It's over. And that's the way that it is. So we'll see what happens these next 2 games. And I think that's going to tell the story. That's going to tell a lot as to what I think the Cowboys will do in the future coming up. Do they need a running back? Absolutely. Alvin Kamara was a rumor that he was going to be available, but New Orleans locked him up today, and maybe that's the reason why. 2-year extension for $24 million, $24.5 million. There are still some running backs out there. They still have a guy by the name of Dalvin Cook, and I know not everybody's excited about that, but why is he not getting an opportunity? That's another question that we could start asking, and we have. And the answer has been, well, it's, we're saving him, or whatever they're saying. Like, they can say whatever they want, and they're going to spin it to the benefit of the Dallas Cowboys. That's what they're going to do. So it's one of those things, but I think these next 2 games will tell a big story about what the Cowboys do in the future, because I can't imagine if the Cowboys go and win these 2 games and are in contention and have a legit shot at winning the NFC East, that they wouldn't go out and make a move. Or you could say, well, look, we won these 2 games with what we got, and we're not going to do anything. The Cowboys, the story out today is that Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are going to restructure their deals next year to get some money, to add some money to the pot. So the Cowboys can be players and however they want to do that. The fact of the matter is, though, they're going to have some dead cap money that they're going to have to deal with as well. So they're not going to have as much money as everybody thinks. They want to sign Micah Parsons. So they've got to have some money to do that. They've got to have the ability to do that. Unless you get rid of the guy. Look, you paid your quarterback. He's the highest paid player in the NFL right now. You paid your wide receiver, which everybody was in favor of doing. I didn't hear one person that wasn't in favor of signing CeeDee Lamb. They did that. Maybe it took longer than everybody wanted, and I think it certainly did, but they did that. So they've locked up their quarterback. They've locked up their wide receiver, their number 1 guy. Now they're going to lock up their best defensive player in Micah Parsons, and they will do that next year. The money, the salary cap gymnastics that go through and have to go through, and how they are handling it versus every other team, you can criticize all you want. I'm right there with you. Why they can't do more with what they have, who knows? But they choose not to for whatever reason. And it's not because Jerry Jones is cheap. If Jerry Jones could pull the money out of his pocket, I think he would do that. He's got to abide by a salary cap just like everybody else. Some people choose to go balls to the wall, if you will. The LA Rams did that, won a Super Bowl. The Tampa Bay Bucks did that, won a Super Bowl. I would love to see that. And when Jerry made those comments earlier, I was all in. I would think because I thought he was all in. And why not get that done? He had the perfect opportunity to do it with your quarterback on the last year of his contract, with a head coach on the last year of his contract. He had a perfect opportunity to get that done. And you could have told CeeDee Lamb to, hey, you're under contract, come play. You could have done all of those things. And looking back, it's real easy to do that. So what the Cowboys do, we'll see as we move forward. But I do think these next two games are going to tell the tale as to what the Dallas Cowboys are going to be in the future and what they're going to be right now. I just believe that. And these two games I think are huge. They're not must-wins, obviously, but I think they're huge for this Cowboys team because you got to watch what the Eagles are doing. You got to watch what the Commanders are doing. So there's a lot that goes there. These next two games tell the tale. And the Cowboys go up to San Francisco as banged up as the Niners are and lose that game. That's a problem. I don't care how you want to spin it. It's a problem. If they go to Atlanta, we don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. That's a problem. I mean, if you're going to compete this year, you got to beat those two teams. You got to take advantage of the 49ers right now, as banged up as they are. You got to take advantage of that. And I know the Cowboys are banged up too. The problem for the Cowboys is the San Francisco 49ers can still run the football, and that's a problem. That is a problem. I appreciate all your comments on YouTube. I appreciate all the comments on Twitter. And again, the phone lines are open at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to comment on what Steven had to say? Comment on it. You want to criticize the Cowboys? Criticize away. Let's go. We can do that. We'll continue, though, here. We're also going to talk about the Spurs and their new arena. The Frost Bank Center was ranked dead last in NBA arenas. It's time for a new arena, but how are we going to pay for it? That's the question du jour. We are here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, with our friends from Flight by Yingling. And, yeah, they're over there having those ice-cold beers right in front of me. Just a tease, man. Look at them. Yeah, just slurping them down right in front of me, passing out free Flights by Yingling. But, by the way, when you walk into Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location, you're going to get a free flight. They're going to hand you one right there as soon as you come in the door, and then you're going to register to win a Kanga cooler, perhaps, or the grand prize, which is the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party on November the 10th, and tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game in Arlington the same day. It is a double dip here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. Come see us. This is the Blitz right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20 after a bye. It's the first of two road games. Dallas and San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I like this kind of party.
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Halloween parties at the Roof Up have become legendary. Plan now for the biggest and best Halloween party in San Antonio this Friday. Kick off the party weekend at the 11th annual Halloween party with DJs inside the Roof Up and Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. No cover charge and a $1,000 costume contest at midnight. This is the Halloween party you don't want to miss. This Friday night, the Halloween party of the year. We'll see you at the Roo and wear a costume.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210. 2210.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com. When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at HEB today.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Play stopped, opt out. The FDA has not approved or substantiated these claims.
Mark, you're late again. Sorry, I just don't have the energy I did a few years ago. Could be low testosterone. Low T? It happens, especially after 40. I was feeling the same way, so I started taking clomiphene from Zelfie. It helps boost testosterone and made a huge difference for me. I thought testosterone replacement therapies had risks. This isn't testosterone replacement therapy. There's no injections. It's a simple daily pill that boosts your body's natural production of testosterone. This helps you? And clomiphene can double your testosterone levels. I'm building lean muscle and cutting down weight. I'm also sleeping better, plus other benefits in the bedroom. It's easy to try. Plus, send them a text right now and get 40% off.
Text STEPS to 200-300 to find out if you qualify for enclomiphene from Zelfie. It can double your testosterone levels, so don't wait. Text STEPS to 200-300 right now and get 40% off. It's 100% online and ships directly to your door. Text STEPS to 200-300. That's STEPS to 200-300.
Hey guys, it's AJ. I'm here to tell you about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. They're now accepting new memberships. They're open 7 days a week. Great atmosphere, great vibe, great food, great service. All skill levels welcome. Stop by. Check them out online, sacardhouse.com.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It is opening night for the San Antonio Spurs. They're going to tip off the regular season in Dallas tonight. That game will be televised on TNT beginning at 6:30. Just got some news in about a San Antonio product, Josh Reynolds. He was shot leaving a strip club in Denver. He was on IR and didn't travel with the team with the Broncos to the Saints last week and shot. He's okay.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Thursday, everybody. This is the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, well, he's under the weather, so he's recovering at home, hopefully getting well. But we're going to carry on. James Pledger is there, back at the studio, pressing the buttons. Greg Shelton out here pressing the buttons here. And just a strange story. And by here, I mean Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. That's where we are today, thanks to our friends at Flight by Yingling. They are putting together a great deal here, giving away stuff like the Kanga coolers and also the ultimate prize that we're going to be giving away here about 6 o'clock or so, the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party tickets, November 10th. And then you also get to go to the game, the Dallas-Philadelphia game, November 10th, and that could be a big, big game. But tonight, it's all about the San Antonio Spurs because they open up the regular season in Dallas against the Mavericks. And what is that team going to look like? What can we expect? Well, I call on my good friend Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle because, well, Rob is our basketball guy here at San Antonio Sports Star, and I like to pick his brain when it comes to this. But first, Rob, before I get into this, I don't know if you heard Sports Center or not, but Josh Reynolds, former Jay standout, shot leaving a strip club in Denver. He's okay, but he was shot in the head, according to this article, and, wow, I think the shoulder, about 3 a.m., it says.
Well, in my experience, nothing prepares you better to get shot than going to Jay High School. That's the joke of the day. No, I had not heard this, Joe. What a terrible bit of news. And he's okay. How do we define okay after being shot in the shoulder and head?
Well, I'm not sure how to define. He was on IR, right? So he wasn't with the team. Shot in the arm and in the back of the head, according to News 9 there in Denver. There were 2 other people that were with him, and they were not shot. But it was about 3 a.m. last Friday morning, according to this story. So just very strange.
Well, coaches and their players left behind, they're always worried about that late-night call. Hey, get better, Josh. My goodness. San Antonio's own. That's rough news.
Yeah, that is rough news. The good news is, though, he's lucky it wasn't worse, according to the article, and he should be okay. But obviously going to stay on IR a little bit longer now, I would assume. So Rob Thompson joining us from the Morning Huddle. And, Rob, I appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Spurs open up the season tonight in Dallas. Obviously, everybody excited about a regular season basketball game for the Spurs. Wemby, CP3, what are your initial thoughts on what we might see tonight?
Well, I think it's all a matter of perspective on what we want to see this year, because I think we're going into the last season for the next decade at the minimum. There's going to be a lot of expectations for this team, but not this year. You know, everybody's kind of putting in a 37 to 40 win kind of season, expecting to lose more than they win, and watch Victor incrementally grow. And I think we're going to get that, and that's going to be rough for a lot of people because we're going to lose some games. But I don't think we're going to lose tonight. I think watching what Pop has done over the last couple of years, his teams start fast. For whatever reason, his method of training camp gets them ready to play a little bit earlier than others. We don't have a lot of old guys that are going to be on some sort of stupid load management program. We're not coming off a back-to-back. I don't think we've got anything going to slow us down too much. I expect a good couple of games to start things off, but it's going to be a play-in at best kind of a year. And if we approach it that way and just watch Wemby flourish, I think we're all going to have a lot of fun.
Well, what I'm excited about, we'll talk about the Mavericks in a minute because Klay Thompson making his regular season debut with the Mavs. Wemby this year, there's no learning curve, right? I mean, I remember watching him last year for about the first 6 weeks or so. He looked like he was lost. And this year he's going to hit the ground running. So I think in that respect, Rob, I think you're going to see a guy that is really, we've just scratched the surface with this kid. And I think we're going to see that starting tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup tonight with Lively. But we have to quantify exactly what do we expect from Wemby. What is a great year from him? What do you think? Is it stuffing stats? Is it 25 points and 12 rebounds and 7 blocks and 6 assists a night? It's a great season, 41 wins. I mean, I think we're going to project expectations. And I know that big men always have more expected of them. They're even capable of providing it. He just can't provide the kind of effort that guards will give you, 40 minutes of effort. You just get, 10 minutes here and 10 minutes here and 10 minutes here of a big like him, and you have to roll it all together. And at the end of the game, you look down at the stats and say, my God, that guy had 30 points. I didn't see it happen all at once because he was, coming in at first, changing positions, sometimes in the paint, sometimes out guarding a 3 or a 4. For me, success for Wemby is more about him understanding that, yes, he's going to be the best guy on this floor just about every night he plays. How can he bring the other guys with him? And that's how I think we're going to monitor how Wemby grows. Because you're right, Joe. What we saw last year and then what we saw at the Olympics, he was already light years ahead. And here's one more thing to watch tonight. Watch Victor dribble the ball. He's about 6-7 inches lower. His knees are bent 6-7 inches more than they were last year. He's already stronger, and he's already better with his dribble, which was a problem last year. So we're already seeing that growth.
No, absolutely. And again, I think we've just scratched the surface, Rob. I really do. We're visiting with Rob Thompson, one of the 2 of the morning huddle, 6 to 10 every weekday morning right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Rob, I'm not worried about Wemby. Chris Paul, I worry a little bit about him. How many games will he play? He's had some injury issues this year. That to me is a concern. But when I look at the rest of the talent the Spurs have, I think they've got some talent, but I think it's young and raw in some cases. Is that a fair assessment?
I would say raw. Certainly, at some point we're going to have to get over this young thing. Certainly Stephen Castle is young. But Devin Vassell and Keldon, I think we can call them seasoned veterans now. I think they've been around long enough. Well, now there's expectations of being a daily pro. You've learned all the lessons. Now apply them nightly. And we certainly know what CP3 is going to do. And I expect Chris is going to have a pretty decent year because they're not going to lean on him for a lot of minutes. There's plenty of time for him to play at the appropriate times, but he's here as much to teach as he is to play. So I think some of the manifesting of him teaching will be him on the court with 1 or 2 other point guards a lot, and letting them mirror what he's doing. I saw a lot of him and Blake Wesley, during the preseason, a matchup that I was kind of surprised to see, but it worked. I think we're going to have a great year from Devin Vassell. I think of our young dudes that are going to flourish, Devin on the weak side, on the other side of wherever Wemby is going to be a lethal thing. They're taking their time bringing him back. But for the Spurs to go where you want him to go, Joe, and the rest of us, it's going to have to be a lot of Devin Vassell.
Yeah, I think so, too, and I can't wait to see him because I really believe that he is a star in the making. I do. I think he's going to come on, and this could very well be the year that he does that. Let's look at the Dallas Mavericks, Rob, because they added Klay Thompson. Obviously, they've got Luka, and Luka says his calf is perfect, and he could be stretching the truth a little bit. Kyrie Irving, there's a lot of talent on that Dallas Mavericks team. And we saw Luka and Kyrie gel and play pretty well together last year. How does the addition of a Klay Thompson fit in with those guys?
Well, you saw what happened to them in the finals. They didn't have anybody that could shoot. I mean, there in this is the fix. DJ Washington showed up and added a lot to the Mavericks team last year. But I think the key to Dallas, we all know how good Luka is, and we all know how Kyrie has, filled in the gaps around Luka to help out and kind of subjugated his game. But the difference with Dallas last year, and I expect it to be more this year, is Derek Lively playing in the post, in the front line, because he is so mobile and able to get out and do some things that Luka needs from his big man and does not demand the ball at all. You add Klay Thompson for the offense. Defensively, he's still adequate, if not good. I mean, he was a very good edge defender for a long time. Not anymore. But this is a much better defensive team than I think people give credit to. So I expect them to play a little bit of defense. Luka's cap is not 100%. He's not. But the good news for Luka is he's not a gifted athlete. He's not going to be jumping over anybody anyway. So he doesn't have to be 100% to get 100% of what Luka's capable of. But the thing about playing with Luka is you have to get used to being the last option. And that takes a minute for a lot of guys. You get the ball at 19 seconds. You get the ball at 20 seconds to go do something after Luka's messed around. You've got to adjust to that, and it takes some time for the Mavericks to do that. So they're going to be a much better team all in all in about 6 weeks than they are now because they're still fitting in. Klay Thompson is doing some things. But, they're as good a team as there is in the West, and this is a deep, deep West.
Yeah, there's no question about that. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Oklahoma City, Denver, Dallas, obviously a lot of good teams, and it's going to be a fun season. I don't know if you saw this. Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle joining us here on the Blitz, but there's a lawsuit been filed by a former trainer of the LA Clippers because he said that it was unsafe and illegal handling of Kawhi Leonard's injuries. So he's claiming the Clippers fired him. Can you imagine it's Kawhi Leonard again destroying another franchise?
Oh, the rabble that he leaves in his way. So the good news is he's not going to show up for any games. So, I mean, you don't really have to worry about it. I think everybody needs to be sued that's been involved with any part of the medical care for Kawhi. I'll sue him too.
All right. Hey, Rob, I appreciate you jumping on and talking a little Spurs basketball. We'll see what happens tonight. Spurs open up the season in Dallas tonight, a nationally televised game on TNT. 6:30, they will get things underway there in Dallas. Listen to Rob Thompson, A.J. Hoffman in the morning on the Morning Huddle. They start at 6 o'clock. They go 6 to 10. And you guys, sounds like you're having a lot of fun, Rob.
We are. You too. We don't get to go to fun places like Little Woodrow's and give away all kinds of Yingling flight stuff.
I tell you what, but the guys from Flight by Yingling are over there teasing me, man. They're sitting there drinking beer and just right in front of me, and I can't do anything.
Well, you're only about 45 minutes away, Joe.
That's right, brother. Hey, Rob Thompson, thank you, sir. Appreciate the time.
Gracias, amigo.
See you later. Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle. He's our basketball guy. I rely on Rob Thompson for some basketball information. He's about as good as there is. So appreciate you, Rob Thompson. We're going to switch from basketball to a little football. John McClain with HoustonTexans.com. He joins us next here on the Blitz. We're at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. You still got time to get out here and sign up and try to get you a Kanga cooler or the grand prize, the Ultimate Tailgate Party, Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, and tickets to Dallas, Philadelphia, November 10th. Come on out here. Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. We're having a great time. It's a party on a Thursday night. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Underdog is the place to be if you are a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the pick'em game where all you have to do is choose higher or lower on player stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Obviously, you've got 2 Monday night games tonight. The NBA starts tomorrow, World Series on Friday. You want to get in and try to win some money. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app and sign up with my promo code STAR. Now, right now, Underdog is running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at getting the win. And they're basically a sure thing with some of their free picks. Player just has to go higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick, and it's boost over from now until October 27th. You can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. Underdog is literally giving you unlimited profit boost to make basketball picks. Download the app now, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Hello. My name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Want to feel better and look better? Been experiencing dry skin, lack of desire in life, hair loss, brain fogginess, or low libido? Men, this goes for you too. All of this can be due to imbalances with your hormones, and we can help. Just taking hormones is not the answer. With state-of-the-art testing and customized wellness plans, we balance your hormones and get you well. It's what we do. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free evaluation, 468-1891.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. A free drinking water system installed at your kitchen sink with the cleanest, best tasting water you've ever had. Better for your coffee maker, better for cooking, better for everything. Free with the purchase of a Connecticut water softener, but only for a limited time.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
And is the last water softener you'll ever own. Right now, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking water station when you buy a Connecticut water softener. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call us at 656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. It's a matchup between two undefeated conference opponents as the Aggies take on the LSU Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minnick's under the weather. Taking the day off to rest and recover. But somebody that never takes a day off is our good friend John McClain of HoustonTexans.com joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, did you ever call in sick a day in your life?
No, I'm not some wimp that's got to get shampoo. Jason gets shampoo in his eyes, and he needs to take off for 2 weeks.
I know. I tell you what, he had a little sniffle. That's all I heard. A little sniffle, and he's calling in sick every day.
Well, I hope he's okay.
Nah, he's going to be just fine. He's a tough guy. John McClain joining us here from HoustonTexans.com. And, John, that was a really strange game in Green Bay last Sunday because it seemed like the Texans could have got blown out. They really could, but they managed to hang around and, well, man, had an opportunity.
Joe, they had multiple opportunities. It's amazing to me that you can be so pathetic in your passing game, not because of C.J. Stroud, but because of the worst pass protection I've seen maybe ever, because they were getting beat because of mental errors, not physical errors. And it was almost comical, like the Keystone Cops. It's like when the lights come on and the roaches scatter. That's what it looked like. They were poorly coached, poorly prepared, and didn't make adjustments. Now, they made a lot of excuses, crowd noise, blah, blah, blah. It's weird because the run blocking was good. Joe Mixon is averaging 125 yards in his 3 healthy games, and he and the defense, which forced 2 turnovers. Special teams had a great game and forced 1 turnover. If you are at least +3 in turnover differential, Joe, you win 96% of the time. So the Texans are 4%ers. And they lost it on field goal with no time left in a difficult place to play. And it's almost like people are angry at them here. They weren't after the Minnesota game in which they got blown out. But here, people are ready to hit the panic button. And they should when it comes to the pass protection. But the running game, defense was missing 5 starters. Defense went above and beyond. And but fact is, they still lost. They play the Colts. If they beat the Colts, they will have a 2-game lead on them. And because they will have swept the series, that gives them the tiebreaker. So this game Sunday is basically for a 3-game lead in the AFC South for the Texans. But if they blow it, they're going to be tied with the Colts, who have won 4 of their last 5, and are trying to make it 5 of 6. And that would shine a whole different light on the AFC South. This game is so important at NRG Stadium, where the Colts have not lost since 2019.
Wow, that's an interesting stat. I didn't know that. That's crazy. It is a huge game there in Houston. But, you know, when the season began and the troubles that Jacksonville was having and even Indianapolis there, it looked like Houston was going to run away with this thing. And now the Colts are right on their behind. It looks like Jacksonville may have started to figure out their issues a little bit. I'm not sure if they can recover from that bad start. But this is it. You're right. This game is going to be tough. Can the Texans figure out how to protect C.J. Stroud a little bit better just from last week to this week?
In the first game against the Colts, which the Texans won 29-27 on opening day, he was sacked 4 times. The same number of sacks he had was in Green Bay. But it was not consistent confusion, chaos, like the movie Dazed and Confused. That was the Texans' pass blockers. And it wasn't just the offensive line, which was pathetic. Tight ends, Joe Mixon, great running the ball. He blocked the wrong guy a couple of times, and that's coaching. And, the offensive line coach, Chris Strasser, who's in his 2nd year, he better have his group ready to protect in this game. Texans controlled the ball for 40 minutes in the first game and still won by 2 points. So they're going to have to be better. And if they lose, it'll be panic time in Houston. People are going to go, oh my God, they might not even win the division. They still have to play Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City, the 3 best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule. We're visiting with John McClain of HoustonTexans.com. You know, John, I saw some, and you talk about the panic, and I thought it was really strange. I heard some Bobby Slowick, let's get rid of this guy, talk. I mean, last year he was the golden boy, and now all of a sudden fans are turning on him.
And it's not his fault when the offensive line has so many mental errors. He calls the plays. Could he do better? Yeah, when the quarterback is constantly under pressure, run some draw plays, run some screens, run some 3-step drops, run some quarterback draws. Make sure Stroud knows where the hot receiver is on the blitz. Just don't make him continue with the same play. And I had people ask me around the country, what in the world's the matter with C.J. Stroud? He only threw for 86 yards. I said, you obviously didn't see any of the game. Bobby Slowick didn't just go brain dead overnight. over the off season, and Bobby's still very highly thought of. And I'm sure, everybody wants to fire him after they lost on a field goal with no time left. Now, if they blow this game, people may be saying fire them all.
Yeah, they very well might. Boy, it is a fickle business, the NFL, that's for sure, especially if you're a coach. You're a GOAT one day and a hero the next, or vice versa. John, I've got to ask you, do they do tours in Houston?
They did tours at the Astrodome when it was built in 1965. They had tours every day, but they stopped them when the games were being played. But I like what Dak Prescott said today about the most recent controversy in which ESPN had a story with whining, complaining, disgruntled players, most of whom had been cut, about it was a distraction. Didn't see him talk like that when they won 12 games the last 3 years. And to me, it's a bad look for those players. Dak said, yes, we have tours. You get used to it, and it's not the reason we're playing the way we're playing. He handled it the way the quarterback and team leader should handle it.
And Micah Parsons said basically the same thing. He says some guys can't handle the bright lights. And I think it's adequate. Let me ask you this question, John, because I catch a lot of heat for this sometimes whenever I defend Jerry Jones about anything. But I think sometimes national media, local media, whoever it may be, they just like to throw rocks at the Cowboys, whether it's a big deal or not. And to me, these fan tours at the Star are not a big deal. And I thought that ESPN article was well written, but yeah, you had a lot of whiny former players that were quoted.
And when it comes to issues that the Cowboys have right now, those tours are a pimple on an elephant's butt.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Now, sometimes the Cowboys and Jerry Jones start their own stuff with the radio guys and all of that. How do you see this game coming out with Houston and Indianapolis? Do you think the Texans can get it done?
I absolutely do. They're playing at home. They've won 3 of 4. They had a 3-game winning streak stopped. They beat Buffalo at home. Buffalo's 5-2. I think they'll beat the Colts. Then they go to the Jets next Thursday night. And then they get the mini bye after that. So I'm pumped about this game because Andre Johnson's getting his Hall of Fame ring. There's about 100 former players coming back for a weekend of celebration. It's going to be very exciting at NRG Stadium.
I got to ask you one question before I let you go. John McClain of the HoustonTexans.com. DeAndre Hopkins, you happy for that guy?
Absolutely. He feels like he went to heaven. He goes from one of the 3 or 4 worst teams in the league to the only unbeaten team. I think it's great for him. I'm happy for him. And he's been in the playoffs one time since Bill O'Brien traded him to the Cardinals after the 2019 season, one of the worst trades in Houston sports history. And so I hope I guarantee you Patrick Mahomes is going to get him the ball a lot.
John McClain, always appreciate the time and your knowledge, my friend. I appreciate you very much. We'll talk to you next week.
Joe, that sounds great. Thank you very much.
John McClain, HoustonTexans.com. Follow him on Twitter, McClain_on_NFL. He is the best in the business, and he's got more knowledge of Houston sports than anybody I know. That is for sure. John McClain, of course, joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Second big game in a row for the Houston Texans because, well, it's what they do. Their schedule's a little bit tougher, and Indianapolis has certainly come up. Going to be very interesting to see what happens this Sunday in Houston. Big game. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, well, we're about to give away some good stuff. I tell you, right at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock, we're going to give away a Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate ticket that you can go to in Arlington, and then you can go to the game between Dallas and Philadelphia. All of this happening on November 10th. You still got time to get down to Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. sign up for prizes, have a cold flight by Yingling, and say hello to Renee, the beer guy. He'll say hello to you. He's like Santa Claus over there, just giving stuff away. That's what he does. The Blitz, we are having a great time. Come out and see us. You still got time. Get yourself a good seat for either the Spurs game tonight or a little Thursday night football. The Blitz continues here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, of course, you do. You know the best way to do that is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
FX's English teacher. Every single one of these essays is so bad.
An F? What is this?
With grades like this, I'm going to have to hit the corner, sir.
From executive producers of What We Do in the Shadows.
Who's running the school? Is it us or is it them? Them.
Go sit next to Tiffany.
She told me it was offensive to learn Mandarin because you're not Japanese.
FX's English teacher is now streaming on Hulu. All new Mondays on FX.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Thursday night report absolutely free on recorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Minnesota at LA tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Minnesota, Los Angeles, confirmed analysis, plus hoops and special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear him free on a recorded message, 1-800-244-5506. Information wins. John Anthony Sports, number one against the spread, 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Minnesota, Los Angeles, plus pro hoops action. I love to go 5-0 the season free. John Anthony Sports, number one against the spread, 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506, or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey guys, it's AJ. I'm here to tell you about SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. They're now accepting new memberships. They're open 7 days a week. Great atmosphere, great vibe, great food, great service. All skill levels welcome. Stop by. Check them out online, sacardhouse.com.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer. What's that?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Man, I hope you're having a great Thursday afternoon. I am out here at Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. We're having a great time getting ready for a couple of big games tonight. One, the NFL football game between the Vikings and the Rams. That's coming up about 7:15. And then you got the Spurs making their regular season debut in Dallas tonight. A nationally televised game on TNT. That will tip off at 6:30. So the Braun Road location of Little Woodrow's is where you need to be. You still have time to come down here, thanks to our friends from Flight by Yingling, and register for the grand prize that we're going to be giving away here, I don't know, probably about 20 minutes or so. It is tickets to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party in Arlington on November 10th. And then you will also win tickets to go see Dallas and Philadelphia that same day. It would be a great Sunday in Arlington, but you got to register to win, and you got to come down here to Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. We're right off 1604. Come down here and register. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off, a little bit under the weather, so he's trying to rest and recover. I got Gregg Shelton here pushing the buttons on site. James Pledger is making Jason cry back at the studio, and he is here as well. Interesting story that I want to get into while we have some time. Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy, in a story that I saw on Outkick today, the headline reads, Mike Gundy shares ominous warning about the state of college football. Now, look, we've been talking about college football, the NIL, the transfer portal, all of that kind of stuff, how it should be reined in, it should be controlled in some form or fashion. Well, little did I know or ever even expect that Mike Gundy would be the voice of reason in this whole thing. Mike Gundy, I'm a man. You know Mike Gundy, mullet Mike Gundy, that guy. But Mike Gundy, listen to him because he's got a pretty good handle on what should happen with college football.
Player retention is based on money. I'll give you an example. If you're playing on our team and we go 3-9, and right now you're making $12,000, and we say, hey, if you come back, we'll pay you $250. What are you going to do? Player retention is probably 90% built on money now, not other things. It's changed.
Yeah, there's no doubt it has changed. It's built on money. And you have to outbid everybody. That's the problem, right? You've got to outbid teams. And guys are moving and shaking and going here and going there. And they're after the money. It's not necessarily about the program anymore or even about whether they're winning or not. Just who's going to offer me the most money. So Gundy has an idea of how we can fix the transfer portal and the poaching of players from other teams.
How do you feel like y'all approach the portal?
We have no clue. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna. You guys get tired of me repeating this, but if I say it enough, maybe somebody will listen. We need employment contracts. You sign a 1-year deal, a 2-year deal, a 3-year deal, or a 4-year deal. And I don't need to go through the whole thing because y'all are tired of me saying it. If I'm a 5-star, I'm probably signing a 1-year deal because I'm going to renew my deal at the end of the year. I'm a free agent. I'm what Dak Prescott was at the end of the year or whenever last year. So I get their call. I can do whatever I want. So if we have contracts at the end of the year, at least we as coaches know who can leave and who can't. Right now, we don't know that. We don't have any idea. So if you just put yourself in my shoes, we're trying to fill a roster that's going to get cut to 105 is what she says, correct? So we already have to get rid of 35 players because we have 140 on our team. So we have to get 35 of them we have to get rid of because we don't have a choice. And you have incoming high school seniors, okay? You got to figure out how to do that, and you got to do it by position because you don't want to get cut and lose a massive number of players at one position. And then you don't know who's going to go in the portal, who's not going to go in the portal, and how you have to replace them, all while they've shortened the portal window, which everybody's in agreement we need that. And the spring portal has not been as productive for most teams across the country as what the fall portal has been. That's another reason why that they need to get contracts. So, like, if we have, let's just say we have all of our running backs on a multi-year contract. Well, then we know who to replace. We got to replace Holly. He's going to go to the pros. So we know we need one guy. We're going to get a high school kid or we're going to get a portal kid. At least we know. When nobody's under a contract, we don't know who's leaving and who's staying. That's where you have an issue.
And does that just make a ton of sense? I mean, think about what he's saying. And we've been talking about this the same way. College football has got to be treated like the NFL. You got to have contracts. You got to have a salary cap, I think. Now, Gundy doesn't mention that, but I think it's necessary. These coaches, and I know nobody feels sorry for them. Nobody does. I've heard you guys before. Nobody feels sorry for the coaches. But look, these guys don't know if they're going to have player X next year or not. Even a one-year contract would make a difference because at least you know that you've got that guy for 1 year. And then you know that, well, we're probably going to have to replace that guy after 1 year. I just think they have to have a contract. I think that makes so much sense to me. And leave it to Mike Gundy to come up with it. But my question is, with all the smart people, and I'm not talking about the NCAA because I'm not sure there's any smart people there, but I'm talking about, conference presidents, people that know and deal with this stuff day in and day out. Why can't we make that happen? Is it a matter of laws? Would states have to honor that? If the NCAA or whomever had a blanket statement and said, now we're going to do this, we're going to have contracts, you got to sign a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever the case may be. How does that work? How does that work? There's got to be some kind of guardrails. That's what Steve Sarkisian told us the first time we ever talked to him about this 2 years ago. Guardrails. Everybody has guardrails. And then this is no different. I mean, when the NFL is running better and more efficient than college football, there's something wrong because let's face it, whether we like it or not, and I'm going to tell you right now, college football is about as exciting as it's ever been. It really is. But I think it could be even that much more exciting and take a little stress off of some of these schools, especially the smaller schools like UTSA, UIW, name them, Texas State, if we had some sort of regulation moving forward. And I think contracts is absolutely the way to go. And that way you wouldn't even need 2 transfer portals. You'd only need 1. Why not just limit it to 1? Yeah, you fulfill your contract, then you can enter the transfer portal if you want to. I mean, it just makes so much sense to me that I don't know why this has not happened before now. And I'm glad that Mike Gundy is talking about this. And obviously he's talking about it a lot, but he seems to be the only one. I would really like to get Jeff Traylor's thoughts on this, and we'll ask him when he joins us, as he does every Monday, what he thinks about Mike Gundy's idea. I think it's a genius idea. You go into a season, you know you've got a player. A guy just can't quit and say, well, you know, you're not paying me. And somebody else over here told me to sit out because I can make more money at X school. It's got to be that way. Something has got to happen to keep these guys because I think it's going to happen more and more and more. Because look, College football before was under the table deals. It was. Nobody's disputing that. College football today is turning into under the table deals. Even though guys are not supposed, other schools are not supposed to talk to guys when they're on a team like a UTSA or whatever during the season or during their time. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're finding a way to do it. And that's why you're seeing kids quit their team and wait and go to another team. It's happening. It's happening right now. Contracts. I mean, are you guys opposed to that? I mean, is there an opposition to that? I'm really curious because I think it's a genius idea. I think it's a genius idea. It's something that is got to happen, and it's got to happen right now. Pledge, I don't know. What do you think? And I'm looking, and I see people here, well, athletes, you don't have a salary cap in the radio station.
I would argue.
Well, we do, but we have contracts. You have contracts that you have to honor. And, I can't just leave today and go to X radio station and start there tomorrow.
No compete
I
costs.
can't do it. Right. There's you have contracts, you have regulations and rules. And I think that's in most businesses. That's the way that it is.
And people I see are bringing up the fact that, for a long time, the kids were stuck at schools and they could be mistreated by coaching staffs or whatever, or lied to, which is true. But just because something was done a certain way forever doesn't mean you have to go 180 degrees the other direction to try and even things out. We understand, that was wrong. The students and the student athletes probably shouldn't have been beholden to the school in the manner that they were and not able to go seek better if a coach leaves or whatever. They've rectified that issue, and we don't need to now punish the school for 100 years and try to make it even on both sides. That's not how it works. We're trying to find the best solution to put the best thing on the field. And to be honest, coaches, at least because they already work 365, 24/7 because of recruiting and everything else. Now the portal has amped that even more because of how much you have to spend just trying to retain your own guys, much less trying to go get other guys that are already in the portal. So it's so much work for them outside of just football that this needs to be more controlled on both sides. The coaches shouldn't have the players locked in to where they can abuse them, but at the same time, the players shouldn't just be able to leave a coaching staff, a school, and everything else in disarray on his way out the door.
Contracts should be a necessity. And I see it on YouTube, and I get this, the same thing. Well, coaches can leave. Coaches are under contract. I mean, they are. And you don't see a coach up in the middle of a season say, I'm not going to play anymore. I'm not going to coach anymore because, well, this school over here is going to pay me more. That's what you're seeing right now in college football.
No, but I've seen them fired midseason.
Well, they can be fired. That's one thing. All right, so if you're going to fire coaches midseason, then can you fire a player midseason? How about that? How about if the player, you paid him, and that player is playing poorly, can you fire him midseason or reduce his salary? See, there is a double standard everywhere, and that's the problem. So the argument that, well, coaches aren't penalized, well, look, contracts have to be honored. They have to be honored. And if you get fired, if you can fire a coach midseason, then why not a player? Hey, I think hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
And here's the great thing about firing a player, Joe. Just like a coach, you still got to pay that coach. Just like the kid, you still have to honor the rest of that school year.
You absolutely do. That is absolutely true. This conversation is not going to go away. But props to Mike Gundy for bringing it up and finding a solution to a problem that's only going to get worse if we don't put some guardrails on this thing. All right, Pledge, you know what we do about this time every Thursday?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
What's on tap? Presented by Sam's Burger Joint. That is a great place, and it's a great place to go watch a show. And tonight they've got Tyler Booth out at Sam's Burger Joint. Tomorrow, a group called Skyrocket. Saturday, San Antonio Transit, a tribute to Chicago. Woo, there's going to be a lot of making out going on the dance floor with Chicago playing. Sunday, Beautiful Disasters, a tribute to 311. And Wednesday, out at Sam's Burger Joint, Willie Carlisle is performing out there at Sam's Burger Joint. Check out samsburgerjoint.com for all the concerts and everything that they have to offer. Tonight out at Green Hall, Jason James Band is playing out there at the Boeing Center at Techport. Becky G. Wow, my kids used to love Becky G. I'm sure they still do. At the Brontex Theater, Joel Nichols is playing out there. That'll be fun. The Vibes Event Center, Black Dahlia Murder and Dying Fetus. I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm not going.
What?
LOL Comedy Club, Sin in the City with Cynthia Luciette. What the hell is Black Dahlia Murder and Dying Fetus?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
I guess so. Friday, Billy Joel and Sting at the Alamo Dome. Wow, I didn't know that was happening. And that's exactly why we do this. Billy Joel and Sting. That'd probably be a lot of fun. Freeman Coliseum Friday night. Space Con San Antonio. Out at the Moody Center, Conan Gray is performing there on Friday night. Cody Canada and The Departed out at Green Hall on Friday night. And Don Tolliver at the 1902 nightclub. Bluebonnet Palace on Friday night. The Spasmatics. They're always a good band to go see. At the Brontex Theater, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. Ricky Skaggs, old school country, that's for sure. Saturday night, out at the Frostbank Center, the Spurs home opener. They'll take on the Houston Rockets. At Floor's Country Store, Josh Turner is playing out there. Abraham Alexander at the Stable Hall at the Pearl. Jack Ingram at Green Hall on Saturday night, always a good show. Macy Gray, remember her? At the Aztec Theater, she'll be performing there on Saturday night. You got the Majestic Theater, Paw Patrol Live, A Mighty Adventure. Kansas at ACL Live, Dust in the Wind. Remember that, Gregg? Lots happening. Sunday out at Green Hall, you got the Malford Milligan Trio. Jay Wheeler is at the ACL Live, and Gladys Knight at the Tobin Center. Wow, lots happening. Again, all courtesy of Sam's Burger Joint. Check out everything at samsburgerjoint.com. What else do we do? Pledge on Thursdays. Always like my meat big.
Grilling with the Blitz, presented by Tri-County Meat Market.
Grilling with the Blitz. You post your meat. You cook it. You need to post it on SanAntonioSportsStar.com. Well, today's winner is going to get a $50 gift certificate to Tri-County Meat Market. A triple tomahawk. Those look fantastic. Triple tomahawk with salt, pepper, minced garlic, rubbed, cooked medium rare, and they look fantastic. Ryan is our winner this week. Congratulations, Ryan. You know you're going to be cooking this weekend, so post those pictures on SanAntonioSportsStar.com. Boy, that's about going to do it from here. We're about to give away those tickets to the Ultimate Bill Bates Tailgate. We're going to do that here in a few minutes. And tickets to the Dallas-Philadelphia game in Arlington on November the 10th.
Nice.
Going to be drawing that coming out, Pledge. You got a show tonight?
I do. I'm getting you ready for Thursday night football coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Excellent. Extra innings with Pledge. Join us, putting up with us out here at this wonderful place, Little Woodrow's, the Braun Road location. Hey, before we go away, I want to tell you about Connecticut Quality Water Softeners, the most popular water softener on the market. I've got one, and I tell you what, it is a game changer. There is nothing like it. They are absolutely the best in the business. They've been serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. Their products are made in America, and what I love about it, you don't plug it in. It does not run on electricity, but it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your hair is better. Your body feels better. Your dishes are better. Your laundry's better. all of that stuff because of a Connecticut quality water softener. And for a limited time, when you purchase a new Connecticut water softener, you're going to get a reverse osmosis drinking station installed at your kitchen sink for free. Purified water right at your kitchen sink. You don't need to buy bottled water anymore. Outstanding warranty coverage. They've got it all. Financing is available, and they've got a rental program too, and they still have the 90-day challenge. They'll install one in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Get the party started. Give them a call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George